It is 10 o'clock. Welcome in to Jox. This is Three Man Front. Pat, Molly, Conrad. There's a rumor that Landrum's in the building. Oh, there he is. Showing up late. If you're watching on YouTube, he's manning his workstation as we speak. He probably won't be able to log on, Conrad, because he hasn't been here in so long. He probably forgot his passwords. So
we'll help you out, buddy. Don't worry about it.
The whole family back together, at least for one day.
Yeah, sorry, guys.
Yeah, and Molly will be out tomorrow. So just can't get everybody on the same page for whatever reason.
Good. Hey, how are you?
Good. Greg's deaf. Did you not know that?
Oh, the past few days, I'm concerned about Greg's hearing.
It's not good.
No, it's not.
Let's get him some devices. I'm told.
How was the wonderful, pleasant weather of Orlando, Florida?
It was so hot.
How hot was it?
It was. I can't. There's several sayings that I heard growing up that I can't say.
Oh, come on.
But it was. But the good thing is everybody that you're surrounded by down there is hot and miserable as well.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I vowed never to go back in July. Kids.
I literally almost, when you're talking about logging onto the computer, almost pulled up my pass and just scanned it.
Do the scan.
Or the facial recognition has come a long way in those parks, which is scary.
Now, do they still have it to where you can schedule when you can ride? See, the last time I was there, like you could go online and say, okay, I want to do Space Mountain at this time. So, and I could reserve a spot.
It's really confusing. So Disney does have that where, hey, you're going to be here. If you want to do the single ride attractions, the unlimited or the express, whatever they call it, yeah, you got to be there between a certain time, but they limit the number of rides and they give you the options that you can do. You can pick one park unlimited for the day, but you can't do that in every park. But I guess they assume that people like me and my wife aren't going to do all 4 parks in one day.
But you did.
We did.
Yeah.
We conquered it. We conquered you, Disney.
I'm proud of you.
Well, thank
4
you.
parks in one day is a lot.
Yeah, met a great nurse practitioner in the clinic. It was, Disney, they got it covered.
Those nurse practitioners, they know what they're doing.
A wise man did tell me it is the Chick-fil-A of theme parks, and he was right.
That's what I told you.
Yeah, it was great.
The efficiency level is off the rails.
The biggest takeaway, shout out to all the parents out there that endure that, because it was just 2 grown adults and me and my wife doing it. Because I saw a lot of dads out there. Look, I saw deep in your eyes you were suffering, but you know what? You had a smiling face to make it the experience for the kids. But the people watching is undefeated down there.
Oh yeah, now it's over the top, and I'm sure that everybody in Orlando is excited to think that they're going to get a UFL franchise.
That was the buzz.
Yes,
that was what everybody was talking about.
Everywhere you went,
whether it was Disney or Universal, that's what everybody was talking about.
Every ride you were on, people were talking about the UFL coming to Central Florida.
That was the big news.
Let's hear a little bit of Skip Holtz from yesterday. Skip Holtz was in town. That's continuing to be a story. I just did I'll give you an update in a moment. I was just on a radio show in Boise, Idaho, and I'll give you what they're saying about the UFL and the potential of them stealing one of the 4 franchises of the UFL. So as we talked to Skip Holtz on Monday, he was in town yesterday at Legion Field holding a free clinic for the kids. This is what he had to say about the report online in regards to Birmingham losing the UFL team.
You can't worry about, well, what if this happens? What if that happens? What if the league folds? What if they add 4 more teams? What if? Right now, let's work with what we have right now. And I've been told to continue business as usual and put our football team together for the 2026 season. I have loved our time here in Birmingham. And like I said, the community has really embraced its arms around us. And to be here today and have a youth camp with a couple hundred players for a free camp that the league is putting on, doesn't sound like a league that's trying to bring in a moving van and run out of town either. You know, I mean, just somebody put some speculation out there and everybody's trying to respond to it right now. And I think the response is, let's keep going until somebody tells us something different. But right now I'm planning on being back in Birmingham.
All right. First opportunity that you've had to speak on this matter. We've all given our opinion over the last 24 hours. Just your initial thoughts on this potential and what it could mean.
Birmingham being on that list didn't make a whole lot of sense to me, just given the scope. Now, if we take St. Louis, if we're talking about attendance and fan interest, St. Louis, that's one that I don't think is.
That's in a different ballpark.
Yeah, it's a totally different ballpark. But as far as passion, where it's located compared to the other franchises that were on that list, it didn't seem like Birmingham belonged on it, to me.
Yesterday afternoon, the mayor of Birmingham, he tweeted out, "We've heard the rumors from unofficial sources and have been assured by the league that no final decisions have been made about numerous teams for next season, including the Stallions. We were surprised by these rumors since the Stallions have already begun collecting deposits from next year's season tickets. The Stallions have built a strong, passionate fan base and have seen tremendous success on and off the field. Birmingham was Fox's #1 UFL viewership market in the country. There's no question the team has become a source of pride for our city. We're sharing new strategies with the league to strengthen local attendance, boost sponsorships, and maximize the team's long-term success here. There's an opportunity for growth, and we're committed to working together to make that happen. Giddy up."
So maybe just a way to strengthen the relationship and making some different things. And I don't know between the city, Protective Stadium, and the league, what things that they want, concessions they want, or this is what we would like to add in the future. I don't know. I'm not privy to those discussions, but I think that this would be a good time to really solidify the future moving forward with a franchise like Birmingham, because that's right. I would think as far as fan interest, and if we're talking about eyeballs, there's no better place than Birmingham, Alabama. Do you really want to alienate yourself?
Yeah, so I was on a radio show in Boise, Idaho a few minutes ago before we came on the air, and they're laughing. They have a problem. They sold 19,000 season tickets for the Boise State football team, and that was a struggle. So all of a sudden, you're going to plant a UFL team in the city of Boise, Idaho. I mean, literally, the talk show host was laughing. Like, nobody up here has heard anything about that potential. And that's a big, small town. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, that is not – the town's not even the size of Birmingham, okay? And – it's pretty much a homegrown media market, and nobody like I'm the one that educated Kevin Miller, who I did his show. I'm the one that educated him the other night. Like I sent him, he was like, "Are you kidding me?" And then of course he started doing some digging. He was like, "I have no idea where this is coming from," and nobody up here has any idea, unless it's the greatest secret in the history of the state of Idaho, or this thing was just completely concocted by somebody that doesn't know journalism 101. No idea.
Yeah, there would be 3 or 4 that I could name off the top of my head if we're going geographically and, hey, let's just put a team out here because geographically this is where it is, that I would pick before Boise, Idaho.
Now, Columbus, Ohio makes perfect sense.
Sure it does.
100%. That is legit. That makes all the sense in the world. Putting a team in Tampa or Orlando, Florida, you were just there. There's a million things going on on that I-4 corridor. The last thing in the world they want to see is minor league football.
Man, that gets lost quick down there.
I mean, come on. The XFL tried it in Tampa. It was a disaster, a complete and utter disaster. I was talking to Greg McElroy yesterday off the air, and he was talking about how, he was still doing XFL games. And he said, "Oh, my gosh, I had a couple Tampa games. It was terrible. It was awful, the amount of people that did not show up. There was no vibe whatsoever. It was disgustingly hot. It was just like, why? This makes no sense whatsoever." Now, Louisville, Kentucky, sure, why not? Give it a go. Maybe you're going to draw more than the 800 people that showed up in Memphis. But to move potentially the Birmingham franchise to a market like Tampa or Boise, that is completely asinine.
Well, to give you an idea, 5 days, I did not see not one shirt, sign, billboard, commercial on the side of a bus, on the side of public transportation, anything displaying Orlando Magic.
Zero.
And I didn't think about it until we just started having this discussion in that city. But no, nothing. I saw nothing Orlando Magic.
And they're actually good now on top of it. So you have a winning franchise that you're not supporting.
But it also it shocked me because, I mean, he asked me my opinion because doing what we do in the college football capital of the world, Birmingham, Alabama, he asked me, well, so what is your audience or what are your showmates? What is your opinion of Boise State football? And I hope I didn't speak out of turn for you guys, but I said, we have the utmost respect for what the Boise State football program does each and every year. I mean, to me, they are the model of the group of five. Like every single team, the UABs of the world, that they need to take a page out of the Boise State handbook. Like if you want to be a successful non-Power 4 program, that's the model. That's what you want to do. And I said, I'm not pandering to you because I'm on in Boise, Idaho. I'm just telling you, this is my perspective of the Boise State football team. You guys agree with that, or was I out of line?
No, they're the
I
peak.
agree.
They're the pinnacle.
Yeah. So if you're having problems selling 19,000 season tickets,
That shocks me.
to Boise State football, and he said it's a struggle. How in the world is a so-called minor league football team going to be able to pull? They won't pull the numbers from a television perspective that Birmingham, Alabama would pull.
No.
So it's just, the whole thing is just, it's bizarre. I'm beginning to subscribe to the idea that I threw out yesterday kind of flippantly, that maybe this was some type of grand scheme by the UFL to just throw Birmingham in the mix with those other markets, because there's something locally that's just not jiving in regards to maybe the protective stadium contract. Maybe they expect more concessions from the city of Birmingham, like, hey, purchase another 5,000 tickets for every home game to give to Boys Club of America, or whatever the case may be.
Right.
I'm just throwing that out there because the whole thing makes no sense whatsoever that Birmingham is even remotely being considered. And if they do leave Birmingham, because if it doesn't work here, it's not going to work anywhere. So Katie bar the door, shut it down, move on, update your Wikipedia page, another failed spring football league, and be done with it.
Nah, I think that says it all. I think the theory angle is a good one, though.
So we'll see what happens. I was told yesterday afternoon late that it is fluid, that nothing is done in regards to Birmingham not having a team, but it also is definitely a conversation being had by the UFL on what it's going to look like next year with the locations of the franchises.
Do you feel more optimistic now than you did 24 hours ago that the Stallions will be here in 2026?
Me personally, yes.
See, because I agree. I feel a little better about it than we did yesterday.
But it might be 51-49
fair.
instead of 50-50. So I'm not going all in, but I definitely feel better than I did when the report came out. Because once again, once you start actually trying to peel the onion and the layers back to the story and you talk to the people that know, and I'm not disparaging the individuals that reported the story. They obviously felt strong enough to report what they did on social media, and that's fine. But just like we have a responsibility on this show, we're going to come on and we're going to be honest with you. And I have been 100% transparent in regards to what people are telling me, and whether it happens or not, we will see. So Birmingham lives on for another day.
Yeah. St. Louis can't support two teams, right?
Who knows? Play a matinee game, night game.
They probably could, honestly.
But that's just a completely the part again. And I know you weren't here, Landrum, but when these people start railing on Birmingham attendance, and I pointed this out to Kevin in Boise, I said Birmingham averaged right at 10,000 fans this last year. You had two home games. We were under a severe weather watch. We had a flash flood advisory. You had to move people out of the stadium for 2 games because there was a delay. The third home game was at 11 o'clock in the morning in the Bible Belt on a Sunday. Oh, and by the way, it was Mother's Day. And he just started dying laughing. He goes, "Are you kidding me?" And I said, "Yeah, do you want your pastor or your mom to be ticked off at you on Sunday? Or both?" I mean, you're asking a lot if you're asking for that for a football game. So we will continue that discussion. Rodney Orr is going to join us at 11 o'clock. Also, Rob Pate, the former Auburn DB, will get his take on as we conclude SEC Media Days and the poll that came out last Friday. We'll also open up the Courtesy GMC text line, 205-834-9450, 1-800-239-WJOX. Dabo Swinney will be behind the microphone at 11 o'clock. We'll try to bring you some of his comments from ACC Media Days, as well as Bill Belichick. He has made his way into the hotel. There is no sign of his girlfriend.
Jordan.
She was not in the video that I saw earlier this morning. So I guess she is not in attendance, or she's staying up in her room in the hotel.
Did you see her at Disney World? I saw maybe he sent her off for the week to go have some fun.
I don't think he did.
I don't think so.
Yeah, he's not
That would've
paying
been
attention
nice,
to you.
No.
He's trying to log in.
Do you remember your password?
Yes, after 3 tries, I did.
Good.
And so we'll try to listen to a little Bill Belichick coming up in the 1 o'clock hour as the ACC and the Big Ten tries to wrap things up as talking season will finally come to a close and fall practices will begin here very, very soon. So much to get into. Glad you're a part of the program today. Give us a call. Give us a text. More straight ahead. This is 3-Man Front on Jox. Welcome back to Three Man Front on this Thursday. Rodney Orr will join us at 11 o'clock. 11:45, Rob Pate, former Auburn DB. Also today, coming up at 12:30, Molly will have her final summer movie review. It will be Cocaine Bear.
Sorry.
So that's coming up at 12:30.
Well, the Alabama heat and humidity can be brutal, but don't let it affect your home and family. Keep them comfortable with an affordable Trane cooling system. They've been recognized as America's most trusted brand for 11 consecutive years, and they're the official cooling partner here at Jox. So go and find a comfort specialist near you at Trane.com.
Before we talk about the Big Ten media days, because it's going on in the Big Ten hotspot of Las Vegas, Nevada. Because when you think of Big Ten football, you think of slot machines and Sin City.
Yep.
All the time, right?
And smoked meats and cheeses.
You think Dan Mullen got confused and just kind of wandered over there this week? Like, oh, is this where our media days? They're right now? Oh.
And I know FSU Dave is listening right now. I want to take you and I want to give you a couple of snippets from ACC media days yesterday. Let's start with number 5, Conrad. Let's go that. Get ready, folks. If you're unaware of Mike Norvell, do you remember that old Federal Express commercial back in the old days, Landrum, where you had the guy that was talking nonstop?
Yeah.
You know, he was doing the commercial. He was like the speed reader.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that? And then, of course, those of us in the SEC, we're used to Jimbo Fisher.
Yeah.
Jimbo Fisher never understood what a comma or a period was.
No.
I mean, it was absolutely just run-on sentence after run-on sentence. It was just constant, nonstop. Here's Mike Norvell yesterday talking about his coordinators at Florida State.
And this team and this season that's ahead, you know, I've got great expectations, got a lot of confidence because I've watched the work, because I've seen the investment. Right? I'm really proud and grateful for the coaches and the new leaders that we have within our coaching staff. Being able to have two of the best coordinators in college football, a couple of the best football minds that this game has.
All right, there you go, Mike Norvell. You're going to hear a lot of him leading up to the Alabama beatdown coming up, the first week of the college football season.
Just kind of he sounds like he's trying to sell me something that I don't want or need.
I thought I was a revival.
Yeah.
I thought I was at one of those.
That's where I was going.
Like I had stopped at a parking lot in a tent, and there was a revival going on. That's the way I felt that I was hearing. So he's got high praise for Gus Malzahn and the former Nebraska defensive coordinator who is taking over for the Seminoles, because I think Norvell stole like 7 coaches from Nebraska's staff last year.
Yeah, they can have them. We're on to better things.
Nebraska had a good defense last
He sold
year.
them on
We
the
did.
milder winters.
Hey, y'all won 5 more games than they did last year, Molly.
Exactly.
See?
Only up from here, hopefully.
Sky's the limit.
Mm-hmm.
They're in Tallahassee. All right,
No,
so that,
revival. That's a good call.
no, we did not.
It
sound that
did.
way?
It did. Yep.
And before people start texting me, my brother's a preacher.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
So,
that's not.
I'm just saying. Okay. I'm well aware.
Oh, no. Immediately, I was thinking,
Evangelist.
am I about to hear a sermon on YouTube?
Yeah, evangelist.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Can we start calling him Baby Billy?
No. No.
Maybe not that. No. No. All right, Brent Key, the pride of Hewitt-Trussville High School, played at Georgia Tech. Now he's the head coach of the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. Taking a listen to this in regards to, they're not playing the Georgia Tech game at Grant Field this year. They're playing it at Mercedes-Benz Stadium because there's work being done at the stadium. So take a listen to what Brent Key had to say about his opponent, the Georgia Bulldogs.
Look, those are way above my pay grade. All right, I could care less. We go play them in Piedmont Park. I'm serious. We'll go home tonight and play tonight at 5 o'clock in Piedmont Park. I give a crap where we play.
I love it. Play them in the parking lot. I don't care. I don't give a crap. We will play Georgia wherever we need to play. We'll play them today at 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
And other coaches may say it, but I think Brent Key absolutely means it.
Oh, there's no doubt. There is no doubt.
There's that great open area outside of our hotel window. They could just play right there.
Yeah.
Right there next to the Ferris wheel.
We sign waivers. We'll do it on asphalt. Let's go.
But what would they do with all the homeless people in Centennial Park?
Well, they'd be spectators, Pat. They need a chain gang, right?
You definitely want to play that during the day.
All right, that's ACC Media Days. We'll hear from Dabo, and then a little bit later in the show, we'll hear from Bill Belichick. Let's go to Big Ten Media Days in Las Vegas, Nevada. The coach whose team is predicted by everyone to win the Big Ten, to potentially be the team to beat for a national championship, the Penn State Nittany Lions, with former Vanderbilt head coach James Franklin at the helm. He is no fan of the city of Las Vegas.
A lot of our beat writers did not come to this because they couldn't afford to get out here. And the majority of our teams are near Chicago, where this used to always be. The majority of our teams are near Indianapolis, where this used to be. And it creates a different environment. I walk around the lobby, I don't see any signage. I don't see anything for the Big Ten. I don't see people getting autographs. I don't see, it's a different vibe and it's a different feeling. I think that other conference, when they have their meetings, there's essentially a press conference every single day at the end of the meetings. It keeps people talking about that conference at a time of the year and makes them relevant. We're not doing that. We need to be talking about the Big Ten and our programs and the things that we have done, and making it as accessible to everybody as we possibly can, and connecting with the fans. And don't misinterpret what I'm saying. I think Vegas is a special place, and I think they run events as well as anybody. But it's a different feeling. It's a different feeling. And I've been at those other places where people are putting up babies for you to autograph and stuff. It's different. So I think there's still some things that we got to be strategic and smart about that are going to put our conference and our schools in the best position on a national level, in my opinion.
I don't agree with everything that James Franklin has ever said. No coach has ever said, but I appreciate his honesty there and conveying his true feelings, because I'm just imagining if you put the SEC out there, or you put it at another place where everything else gets lost. That would be the sentiment. While it's fun for, folks to go out, the beat writers that are able to make that trip and kind of turn it into a little bit of a mini vacay, I can see exactly where he's coming from. I think he laid it out perfectly.
I just like that he can't even say the name of the SEC. He's treating them like Voldemort.
Yeah.
Like that with that other conference. Like, can we not say the SEC now? Are we afraid? Are we the big bad villains now?
I mean, he's 100% right. I mean, you got to walk through a casino to get to the meeting area. There is no buzz, just like we were talking about Orlando potentially having a UFL franchise. There's a million things going on in Las Vegas, and this is not one single thing that is making the 5 o'clock news in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Oh, there's another work convention in town.
Exactly.
Shocker. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, I will just tell you this. I've had a conversation with someone very high up in the college football world, and he most recently was telling me that Tony Petitti is on a very small island, and the membership group in the Big Ten Conference is not as high on some of these grandiose ideas that he has been putting forward. And let me tell you something. If you lose certain schools, i.e. Ohio State and Michigan, the ones that carry the most and the biggest stick in the Big Ten Conference, if they're privately questioning some things that Tony Petitti is doing and saying, that is not going to bode well for him. This is not like the Southeastern Conference. You can say whatever you want to. There are the power brokers in the conference, but it is 16 schools that each one has a certain say in what goes on in this league. And that's not the case in the Big Ten. You better cater to the big boys. And apparently one of the two big boys, not very happy right now with Tony Petitti. So either Tony Petitti comes off this stupid idea of the automatic qualifiers, or you're going to have a civil war in college football, and we're going to be talking about this for many years to come, because we're going to be sitting here at 12 and have the same old, same old.
Well, James Franklin, I mean, he kept on with the honesty that Landrum was a fan of. If you missed it yesterday, I mean, he said straight up, I think the dumbest thing this conference ever done was add the 9th conference game.
It just gives you an extra loss.
Yep. Like,
An
why
extra
why
potential.
did we do that? Money. Greed.
Yeah.
And now you want everyone else to follow suit.
Well, Ross Dellinger had a story last night in which he was reporting that they pretty much, Tony Petitti has told the Fox television network that, again, this is the plan. Like, we go automatic qualifiers. We have these play-in games. Fox is going to get the conference championship game, and then NBC and CBS are going to get those play-in games. So, like, they've already discussed the marketing and the television destination for all these play-in games. He wants more inventory, which means he's going to appease the Fox television network that owns the Big Ten. So
quietly, Jim Phillips is sitting there going, just keep it up, Tony. They're going to bring me back home.
Yeah.
Well, was it Mike that said it earlier this week? He said it pretty well. He's a money guy, not a football guy.
It's correct.
Pretty obvious.
Yep. More three-man front. We'll talk to Rodney Orr at the top of the hour. We'll get to your texts. A lot of them are coming in as we speak, and we'll take your phone calls. 1-800-239-WJOX. The pride of Tupelo, Mississippi. Elvis Presley. Big Ten Media Days will wrap up today. Yesterday, the big story was Oregon and Penn State, also Washington. But today you got Michigan, Iowa, and USC. ACC Media Days, they will conclude in Charlotte with Clemson, Duke, North Carolina, and NC State.
Well, Diamonds Direct, their biggest event of the summer, is finally here. It is the Summer Designer Showcase. It's a limited time event packed with designer jewelry, special guests, and major savings. You'll get an extra 20% off almost everything in the store, and it's all happening July 25th through the 27th. But some of the deals are actually starting now. The 21st through the 27th, you'll get the 20% off. And like I said, the designer event is July 25th through the 27th. So that's our friends at Diamonds Direct. They're located in the Cahaba Village in Mountain Brook, and they're proud partners of Alabama, Auburn, and the Birmingham Barons.
So Dan Lanning was one of the highlighted speakers yesterday at Big Ten Media Days, and I was listening to the Damian Mitchell show with special guest Conrad Van Order earlier this morning on Jox. And Conrad, you guys were talking about Dan Lanning had a really interesting idea, and I'm all for this, by the way, in regards to the calendar for the college football season.
Yeah, so I guess the quick summary of it would be essentially you would start the season a week earlier, so week 0 would become week 1. I believe he wanted to get rid of all the buys.
He did.
And so you would essentially just play from what is now week 0, so I guess the last weekend in August, or second to last weekend in August, and you would just play up through January 1st. That's when the national championship game would be, and it would alleviate some of those conflicts with college football and the NFL. So it's interesting, to say the least. I don't think you're going to be able to get away with removing buys just from a player health and safety standpoint, but I'm fine with moving the season up a little bit so you kind of have that separation between the playoff and the NFL.
His direct quote was, "Play these games faster and sooner. College football belongs on Saturday, not the NFL." And he also pointed out the fact that Oregon did not look as sharp with that long layoff.
Well, he brought up all the teams that got buys in the playoff lost.
Yeah.
Their first game.
So he's wanting to change the entire count. I don't hate the idea, but I'm like you. It's
I also don't
not
think
going to go very far.
Yeah, I also just think Ohio State was going to cream them regardless.
Yeah.
But, maybe not this year.
All right, so Dan Lanning, he was behind the microphone and gave us his thoughts on this year's team, the Oregon Ducks.
But since we're in Vegas, it seems like the right time to say it. As our theme for this team is double down, right? We have done an unbelievable job of building this team over time. You look at our success season to season, and as this team has grown, the process works. We're close, and we've been able to accomplish a lot. So that's really what's going to feed our program this offseason, and will feed us into fall camp, is believing in the process that we have. We got great buy-in from our players. It is a cast of new characters. You're going to see new people on the field, which is exciting.
There you go. He's doubling down on the Ducks.
Well, and he should. I think what Dan Lanning has done there, he's kind of eclipsed. Now he hasn't won a championship as far as the college football playoff, but he's eclipsed what Mario Cristobal, it seemed like he was on the verge of doing prior to departing. And I think that Dan Lanning has shown that he truly does trust that process. And the time under Nick Saban, Kirby Smart, and the familiarity, he has taken the SEC blue blood or elite program blueprint, and he has taken it to Eugene, and he has been able to do everything with it.
There's no doubt about it. I mean, you can hear so much of Kirby and Nick every time Dan Lanning speaks. Very interesting interaction with a reporter yesterday. Take a listen to this question and answer in regards to tampering.
There's a school in this conference that's suing over player tampering. Do you think that that's something that needs to be cracked down even more on in college football?
Yeah.
Elaborate at all, or?
No, I mean, just like play the game the way it's supposed to be played, right? But there has to be consequences to actions, and if there aren't consequences, then there's going to continue to be issues like that.
There you go. Kind of got a giggle out of the media because he just said, yeah.
Well, that's all the coaches and all of these programs to some extent, they're tampering too, but if everybody else is doing it, doesn't make it right, but
it's the same thing.
That's the game that you have to play right now.
I was about to say, same thing we talked about with recruiting. It's all right. You might say that everyone's doing this the wrong way, but if everyone else is doing it one way, maybe it's a little bit of that gray area. You gotta dive in as well.
Lanning would be an interesting person to cover on a daily basis in Eugene.
Yeah.
He's got some good sound bites.
To me, he's a little bit more open than Kirby. Definitely a lot more open than Nick in regards to what he says during his press conferences. Not to mention the fact that he looks pretty cool sitting behind the dais with, he's sitting like a big tight office chair. He's not standing behind a podium. Kind of gives that aura of just, hey, we're just sitting around chit-chatting.
Yeah.
As opposed to, being up on a stage looking down at people like you're a judge, Very interesting to say the least. So Dan Lanning and James Franklin, those were the head guys, the main fellas yesterday. I saw where Jed Fish, I was searching for the audio. I couldn't find it, but he took a shot at the SEC. So I'm just like, well, it's like all these people got the memo that, we're going to pivot. It's like watching a debate in politics where no one will answer the question. They'll pivot and get off on a diatribe about something completely different. And instead of Jed Fish talking about his Washington Husky football team, he decided that he wanted to go down the road of Indiana's Kirk Cignetti and open his mouth and stick his foot in it and start ridiculing the SEC on scheduling. Meanwhile, they play UC Davis. You want to rip the SEC, but that clown is playing UC Davis. Seriously? I'll be so glad when this week is over. I need to be paid by the SEC. Like, I need to be an SEC shield because everybody's attacking.
Thought you already were.
I wish I was. I need another line of income somewhere.
You'd be good at that. Really good at that.
It's too hot right now. Even with my zero turn from Artec tractor, I'm not going out cutting grass.
No.
It's too hot. I can't do that. But yeah, it's just like everybody's gotten the memo. Hey, when all else fails, when you have nothing else to talk about with your team, just attack the SEC.
Well, it's like they all have a jab in their back pocket because it just feels like it comes in the second half of an answer to some random question.
Of all people,
they just slide it in
Jed
there.
Fish.
Yeah.
I mean, at least Kirk Cignetti made it to the college football playoff. Jed Fish?
Watch out for the Huskies this year, Pat.
UC Davis, man. It's not a team you sleep on.
Powerhouse.
Water can find its way into your crawl space, bringing dangerous mold, mildew, and wood rot into your home. But APS can protect your home's foundation, provide that valuable storage space too. The APS crawl space encapsulation system. It can stop water, keep pests out, while lowering your energy costs. The engineers at APS, they can design a custom solution for your home. Call them today, 205-951-9717, or just go to their website. They got plenty of information there and how you can get them to your house and give you an honest assessment of what's happening. AlabamaProfessional.com.
We continue the Thursday discussion here on Three Man Front. Rodney Orr of Tider Insider joining us, his typical spot at the top of the hour. We continue Three Man Front on Jox.
It is 10:47 here on Jox on this Thursday. The whole gang back together. Landrum back from his vacation. Conrad and Molly. Molly will be out tomorrow. She'll be up in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. She's a big Brewers fan, so she's going to be there for the weekend watching the Brew Crew. Well, apparently we have some breaking news on this Thursday, so I'm going to send it over to Molly, who has some breaking news.
Yes, breaking news and extremely, extremely sad news. So TMZ is reporting that wrestling legend Hulk Hogan has died at the age of 71.
Man.
This came out just minutes ago. Apparently, according to TMZ, medics were dispatched to his home in Clearwater, Florida this morning. Operators stating it was a, quote, cardiac arrest.
So TMZ reporting that Hulk Hogan, I believe he's 71.
Yes, 71.
71 years old. Earlier this week, Ozzy Osbourne, he passed away. And now news this morning, according to TMZ, Hulk Hogan.
What Hulk Hogan meant to that industry and just being that iconic figure that kind of transcended professional wrestling and entertainment and crossing genres in his career, that is so tough. Man, I hate hearing that.
You could have said it better in regards to what the WWF, before they became the WWE, what he meant to that.
Oh man, that was he was the face of wrestling. In many ways, when you still say professional wrestling, people immediately think Hulk Hogan.
It's the first name that comes to mind.
Yeah,
and like you said, he's even if you don't watch wrestling, like I never watched wrestling growing up, you know who Hulk Hogan is because he transcended the sport and he was, I mean, honestly, one of the most recognizable celebrities in the entire country for my entire lifetime. So, yeah, that's awful.
Very sad news. Thoughts and prayers with his family.
He, in recent years, has been a staunch supporter of President Trump. He campaigned for President Trump. You saw him at many rallies. I'm not sure if he was, I know he was at one of the inauguration balls or parties.
It's him and Kid Rock, right?
Mm-hmm. So, sad news as TMZ is reporting that Hulk Hogan has passed away at the age of 71 years old. So, 1-800-239-WJOX. So, we do have a little bit of time, Landrum. I know you've got the text line pulled up, brought to us by Courtesy GMC.
I certainly do. And going back to how hot was it down my trip to Orlando, Jamie says hotter than a billy goat in a red pepper patch, eating 15 rows at a time. That's a good one.
Never heard that one before.
This one from Dave in Hoover. So hot that I saw a fire hydrant chasing a dog. Good one as well. Going back to Florida State, Mike Norvell, his comments about his coordinators. Conrad, this one reads, Gus has beat Bama more than anyone else.
Yeah, he beat Nick 3 times. It's pretty good.
Jamie, Alex City says Mike Norvell has an annoying voice.
And just think, he was on deck.
No.
He was on deck.
No.
If Kalen DeBoer had said no, Mike Norvell was the next choice.
I thought Kirby was the fallback option.
Maybe in your world, but not in the real one.
Fat Joe says that he used to work with Coach Brent Key's mom. She used to be a 3rd grade teacher, and he used to come over about once a month on Friday and help with PE. Super dude.
I feel like he's just one of those coaches that's very easy to root for.
Potential of the Stallions moving out of Birmingham. This listener says, hopefully the city can help out with marketing. What I did notice these past 2 seasons, ever since they took the team out of Birmingham, attendance has dropped because the Stallions do not have a presence in local Birmingham scene with the youth program scene as well.
I think Joe from Vestavia said it best yesterday, in which he said, the city didn't fail the league failed the city. The league has failed miserably from a marketing standpoint, and they took a lot of things for granted. I mean, how you think that you can fly in here and spend 5 hours in any market and think that you're going to have any type of grassroots fandom? I think it's pretty amazing what Birmingham's been able to do with the very little appreciation that the UFL has turned reciprocal to the town.
This is coming in from Ryan. He said that Hulk Hogan heel turn revolutionized a business that was not going well. Look at it now. Legend. Yeah. He's exactly right. And bringing viewers over to Monday Nitro, and you had you took an industry that was dying, and the best thing that ever happened to Vince McMahon was Hulk going over there and turning bad. Gus Malzahn has 4, counting 2010.
Okay, as a
coordinator.
OC, yeah.
I was hoping this wouldn't come up. Walker said, glad you're back, Landrum. Your input on the Braves helps me cope. Oh, man. So bad. Congratulations, Conrad.
Thank you, Landrum. I appreciate that.
So stinking hot, I saw a dog chasing a cat, and they were both walking.
It's a good one.
Yeah. Pat just said the Big Ten wanting 4 automatic spots is stupid up until about 3 weeks ago. That's exactly what the SEC wanted during that time. Did he say it was stupid, the SEC, to want that? I didn't hear him say that. Double standard.
The SEC has, you said weeks ago?
Yeah.
The SEC met in Destin on Memorial Day week, and they absolutely
That's where we heard about this 5-11, right?
Was not in favor of the automatic qualifying.
And not to put words in y'all's mouth, but I think we all agreed that we like the 5-11 format.
Absolutely. Now, the only thing that you can say that I was contradictory on was I have always maintained that the Big Ten and the SEC should control whatever the policy is moving forward in the college football playoff because they're the big dogs. And I don't think a smaller conference ought to dictate the terms of the two behemoths that absolutely controls the money in regards to how it is filtered out to everybody else. So, but no, we're all in favor on this program of 5-11. So that's not talking out of both sides of our mouth. That's what we said from the get-go.
Conrad Van Chaos, going back to Hulk, he says, how about we play Real American as a tribute?
We just did. I hope you were able to hear it.
More of your texts as we roll along here on the Thursday edition. We got Rodney Orr coming up, Tighter Insider.
Yeah, Rodney will give us his weekly update on what's going on with Alabama. Also, a little bit of news coming out of Columbia, Missouri. Eli Drinkwitz has signed a contract extension through the 2029 season. It does not appear to include a raise, though. He's still on track to earn $9 million this year. $9.25 million in 2026 and 2027, and $9.5 million in 2028 and 2029. Another example of why the United States of America is the greatest country in the history of the world.
Drink's going to be Mizzou's Kurt Ferentz.
Hey, back-to-back 10-win seasons. I think they'll take that.
He's going to retire there.
Wouldn't you? $9.5 million bucks.
Yeah. God bless America.
It is 11 o'clock. It is hour number 2. Welcome back into the program. Sad news that we've been discussing. TMZ is reporting that 71-year-old Hulk Hogan has passed away in Clearwater, Florida. Sad news. Earlier this week, it was rocker Ozzy Osbourne. Today, getting news that wrestling legend Hulk Hogan is dead at the age of 71.
I tell you about our friends at Dobbs Ford all the time. They're located right there on Parkway East. And not only are you going to get the best deal that you can find at any Ford dealership, but you're going to deal with just award-winning people, amazing people like the Goshens, the managing partners. And right now, you still got the Ford employee pricing going on where you pay on certain makes and models with the Ford employees pay. Also, 90 days until your first payment. Alabama's largest showroom selection. You can find it there from the F-150s, the Broncos, the Mustangs. They're going to take care of you. Go and check it out for yourself. Go to Dobbs Ford. It's not only the Goshens, but the entire team at Dobbs are going to treat you first class. DobbsFordBirmingham.com, and always tell them Landrum from Jox sent you.
Joining us on the Higginbotham Hotline, as he does each and every Thursday throughout the year, Rodney Orr from Tider Insider joins us on the program. Rodney, I hope you're staying cool on the western side of the state of Alabama. I want to start with the quarterback prospect that Alabama got the commitment from Orem, Utah, and that being the wonderful Taden Kawa, if I'm saying his name right.
Yeah, Taden Kawa. I think he's originally from Hawaii. You're right. He is at Orem, Utah right now. Big guy. I mean, he's probably 6'5", 230. Really powerful-looking kid. Got a great arm. You just watch the tape and you can see just how strong his arm is. Seems to be really accurate. I know that he came here last month and threw in front of the coaches, and really impressed enough to obviously to get the offer and then committed. And I know that, and I don't know if you guys were going to touch on this, but a lot of people are saying, well, normally you don't take two quarterbacks in one class anymore. It used to happen, used to not be so uncommon, but now it is uncommon. But you kind of look at where Alabama is right now, and the three guys that they have, you have to kind of really wonder how many of those guys will stick around, as you start to move forward into next year. So I think having depth, taking two in this class was really a wise decision.
Rodney, I was going to ask you about the comparison, if you could, of Jet Tamala and this latest quarterback that just committed.
Yeah, I mean, I think, obviously they both have great height. They both have strong arms. I think Kawa moves around well based on the tape I saw. And you look at Jet Tamala, I mean, such a tremendous athlete. Like I said, we mentioned it once before. He's a dunking machine on the basketball court. So he's a really, great athlete. You never really know until you get a guy here, until they're kind of thrown into the heat of the battle. How do they respond to how do they respond to adversity? How do they respond in the heat of the battle? I mean, these are just things that are tough to predict. They're tough to see sometimes on those tapes, but I think both of them obviously have a lot of the tools that we talked about that DeBoer and staff look for: the height, the size, the frames, the arms, and seem to be really good kids.
Rodney, in regards to the summer rain, that's what the Alabama coaching staff and the Alabama football program, that's what they called this summer recruitment battle and trying to get kids to verbally commit to the Tide. You had your Firecracker 5, in which Alabama was extremely successful in getting those verbal commitments from the Firecracker 5. Just your overall impressions of what they have been able to do this summer in regards to at least getting these verbal commitments as of right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think they've obviously, they kind of had their plan laid out, and they did a great job of lining all those visits up and then close the deal on the visits on a lot of their top targets. I mean, I think they had a pretty high hit rate this year, it seems like to me, on the guys that they really targeted heavily. So they've done a great job. I think, obviously they got, 5 stars. I mean, they've got a loaded secondary to me again. Did a tremendous job back there. If you want to say, okay, let's nitpick a little bit, You always like to get guys at the line of scrimmage. Right now they have 2 guys committed on the offensive line. I know they had a great class last year, and they feel really good about those guys that they got last year after seeing them in spring. So they could probably use another offensive tackle. I don't know if they'll get one or not. I think otherwise, they've done a really good job. I thought they did one of their better jobs maybe on the defensive line in terms of this recruiting class so far. Obviously got a great linebacker in Xavier Griffin, the 2 quarterbacks. So I think that overall, and the wide receiver core looks good. Tight end with Max Sutter looks really good. So I think that they so far filled their needs. Now I will say this, obviously, there's Tank Jones is still out there in Mobile at St. Paul's, 5-star edge player. I think he's going to eventually be a defensive lineman myself. But I think it's still pretty much the same. Alabama, Oregon, Texas A&M. Some people think Oregon, may have the inside track right now, but we'll see. Other than that, maybe they add one other player, but this class, if they can hold on to them, is about done. And then, of course, you've got the portal that I know they're going to save some spots for.
With the strategy, and obviously there was very little turnover with Alabama's roster this past offseason, Rodney, with investing and retaining the guys that were there. I know it's difficult to project out year to year, but can you see this kind of being the model moving forward for Kalen DeBoer and that staff?
I think that's what they're trying to achieve for sure. I mean, I think that, they want to, obviously do the job that they've done evaluating and, bring the players in and develop the guys that they recruited, and kind of build from there. Obviously, occasionally you're going to have to add a fill in with a couple of guys or a few guys from the portal. And I think they've done a really good job of that. And I think there are some guys, whether it's Cam Dewberry at left guard, Isaiah Horton at wide receiver, 2 guys that really come to mind quickly that could help this team immediately, make an immediate impact in a very strong way. Those are 2 guys. And in the secondary, I think there's a guy now, whether or not he finds a spot as a starter right away, Cam Calhoun is a guy to really watch at corner. Maybe he could play the Husky position. We'll see. But I think those are the type of guys that they, want to kind of fill in with the high school guys that they recruit.
Rodney Orr's joining us on the Higginbotham Hotline from Tider Insider. Go to TiderInsider.com for the very latest in Alabama football and basketball news. All right, so I wanted to ask you about SEC football media days last week. It finally came out in regards to the way that we voted, and Alabama came in at number 3 in regards to the pecking order in the conference. Did that surprise you, disappoint you, or where do you think the Tide should be in the 1 through 16 in the league?
I think that's fair. I mean, I could have seen them 2 or 3 or, even if it was 4. I mean, I think LSU's up there. Was LSU 4th in the voting?
LSU was 4, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, in the top 4, definitely. I wouldn't have really me, I posted a little of my own, and I had them number 2. I had Texas, then Alabama, then Georgia. But, I mean, anyway, you could flip it. I think it's fair.
And when you look at the rest of the SEC, I don't know if you were like we were after those first 4, how difficult was it for you to rank maybe 5 through 11 and where they would finish?
I mean, it's unpredictable. I mean, because there's so many, like Florida, I mean, that's a team that could be really I don't know that surprise is the word, but they could be really good this year. Or, who knows? They may be average. I mean, I think there are several teams on that. And I would even say Auburn. And I say that because I really think that last year they should have won a lot of those games that somehow they found ways to lose because they were better than some of those teams. And if they do that this year, if they find those ways to win, and I think they've got a better roster. Sounds like, they're really high on Jackson Arnold. I know he was a great, great player in high school. They get consistency at that position. They could be, who knows what kind of jump they could make. So, I mean, and I think there's other teams that are kind of in that same boat.
That is Rodney Orr. You can follow all of his work there at Tider and Cider. Rodney, always appreciate your time. I know it's about to get really crazy with the season starting up, and we just appreciate you each and every week giving us an update, not only what's going on in recruiting, but around the football program. And we'll look forward to catching up with you again next week.
I appreciate it, guys. Y'all take care.
Thanks, Rodney. Rodney Orr joined us on the Higginbotham Hotline. You deserve solutions that are built for you. Higginbotham is your one-source solution for insurance, financial, and HR services.
Interesting takeaways from what Rodney Orr just told us with his visit. We'll get to it next. 3-Man Front on Jox.
It is 11:14. Welcome back. This is 3-Man Front on Jox. We will go to Charlotte, North Carolina in just a moment as Dabo Swinney is expected to discuss his football team in just a couple of minutes. Their first game of the season will be against the LSU Bengal Tigers. They're in the South Carolina version of Death Valley. I want to tell everyone about Abide Roofing. I tell you about them every single day. Hopefully you have taken advantage of that free roof inspection. They will come to your house at Abide Roofing. They're going to get on your roof, and they're going to give you a really honest and true assessment if you've got a problem. And if you do, they're going to give you a plan of how that problem can be solved. They're going to be honest about it. They're not looking to make a quick buck. They're making relationships last for a long time, and they want to help you take care of the largest investment you have, and that's your home. Call them today at Abide Roofing, 205-922-7134, or go to their website, abideroof.com. They give you the warranties that give you the peace of mind to know that the product warranties to the craftsmanship in which they're going to perform, you're covered for many, many years to come, just like I have it on my house. I had a full roof replacement, and Travis Lloyd and the fantastic local roofing team at Abide Roofing, they took care of me, and it looks fantastic. And I have the peace of mind of knowing that those warranties and the very best material they put on my roof. Those no-cost consultations I was telling you about, no cost or worries estimates that they're going to give you as well, that's all at abideroof.com, or call them today at 205-922-7134.
One Dabo Swinney, ACC Media Days. Everybody wants to hear what Dabo's got to say.
Whoa, that is bright. Well, just super excited to be at this point in our 2025 journey. This is kind of what it all builds to, is just, getting to the season. You work all year for just a few days, and, one of those days is coming up just a few weeks down the road, and opportunity to get back on the field with our team as a full staff and a complete team next week. So excited about that. Got some great young men with me. So obviously, I don't know where Antonio went. Where's he at? He's coming around, but Antonio Williams is with us. He's somewhere around here, but he's our great receiver, going to graduate in December. Cade Klubnik also going to graduate in December, and then we got two outstanding defensive players here in T.J. Parker and Peter Woods. But they're all great people. And these two guys right here, 3 years, great players, but great leaders. Both will graduate in December in 3 years. So great representatives on the field, but also off the field for our program. And just excited about getting going, and look forward to getting on the field with them next week. It's been a good off season. The guys have put the work in. We been around a lot of good teams, and this team, has the ingredients to be a really good team, but we got to go do the work. We can't talk about it or predict our way in it. Y'all can't predict our way into it. We've got to go do it and do the work, and so excited about that next phase of our journey. And then for me personally, this is my 36th year in college football, and my 23rd at Clemson, 13 at Alabama, and year 23 at Clemson. I mean, it's just it's special. Just incredibly grateful and blessed to have an opportunity to be a part of a team and have a chance to do something that I really love, and that's the game of football and competing and doing life with a bunch of great young people.
We've got about 12 minutes with Coach before we rotate into our student athletes, so I'll ask that you please identify yourselves and the agency you are with, and we will watch the hands go right up into the air at this point. So, Coach, we will start right side, third row. Again, from the third row back, please stand.
Kenton Gibbs with Locked On ACC. Coach Swinney, there was a time a few years ago where people were having that conversation of had you fallen off at, a 10-11 game or 10-11 win season. What does it say about your consistency as a program that there's a perennial expectation of national championship or bust darn near?
Well, I think we've earned that through consistency. I mean, we did something last year that only 4 teams in 160 years of college football have done. And, Nebraska did it with Coach Osborne, Coach Bowden at Florida State, Coach Saban at Alabama, and now Clemson. 14 straight 9+ win seasons, 13 of those 10+ win seasons. So, we've earned that through consistency. And that's really for us what it's always been about, is just being incredibly consistent. We're not perfect, but we're incredibly consistent, but that's because we're purpose driven and we're relationship driven, and I think our program reflects that purpose in everything, in every aspect. We got the highest graduation rate in America. 13 out of the last 14 years we've been top 10 academically. We're the only school in America 14 years in a row top 25 in football and academics. So, we're a place that really values education. And again, that's the start of our purpose, and the kids that come there, they align with that. It's a holistic approach. And we've won as well. And in the craziest, probably 3 years of college football, not only are we tops in the country in graduation, we're top in the country in retention, and fewest players leaving your program. So, we're purpose-driven, we're relationship-driven, and we've created a ton of consistency, not just in winning. We've been incredibly consistent, but how we've won, and that's by fulfilling the purpose that drives our program and drives the habits within our program every day.
Coach, left side, first row.
Coach Cole Bryson with the Fan Upstate. Earlier this morning, your quarterback was talking about this year's team being a veteran team with the amount of freshmen that you played the last 2 years. Obviously, you have to be talented, but in this new era and landscape of college football, how big of a hand up do you feel like the veteran presence gives your team going into the season?
Well, I mean, it's awesome. I mean, experience, as they say, that doesn't come at a discount. Like we've got a bunch of great young men, our quarterback especially, that's had to, manage success well, and he's had to manage some failure well too. And, he's grown into a great leader of our team. And, the experienced guys, we have most of our team back. I think that, again, speaks to our retention. These guys can leave anytime they want. But they have to choose, first of all, to come, and then they have to choose to stay. And I just think that says a lot about, kind of how we put it together on the front end, in recruiting guys that really align with our purpose, guys that really value education and want structure and family and accountability, but also, they value the place that they're at. And these guys, they could all go wherever they want to go. But it's a close group. They've done football life together for a few years now, and they've had some success. And certainly last year, and getting a chance to kind of maybe get a little glimpse at the top of the mountain, that's certainly given them a little fuel as they've gotten back to work since January. But great leaders that really truly care about each other. They care about the place, and they have a very clear vision of how they want to finish. Now they got to go do the work.
Coach, right side, second row, hard to the right.
Hey, Coach. Ralph Amsden, Unafraid Show with George Reister. Came out, had an opportunity to tour the facility, and one of the things that stuck out was the pod journey. And you talk a lot about retention versus the rest of the country, what you guys are able to do. Can you speak to how pod journey helps you keep the players around that you recruit out of high school?
Yeah, so again, our purpose is graduation, number one. Number two, it's to equip them as men, through the game. Number three is to make sure they have a great college experience. And then lastly is to win a championship. I want everybody that comes there to win a championship. That's how we started the program 16 years ago, and nothing has changed. And so Paul Journey is not something that we just started doing. The day that I became an interim coach, October 13th, 2008, I went next door. I lived next door to a guy named Jeff Davis, and he was just my neighbor for 6 years. I didn't really know him as, this great player, and he wasn't working in Clemson football. He was on campus doing development and working with Call Me Mr. program, and I just kind of laid out my vision. It's like this: if I ever got to be a head coach, this is kind of what I want to do. And the AD said I get to be the head coach for 7 weeks, and I can do whatever I want. And I was like, so this might only be a 7-week job, but this is what I want you to come. I want somebody who's not a coach. And I want somebody who can help me coach life every day, because life's happening. Coaches are busy, and we're in meetings. And in those days, there were 9 coaches, 2 GAs, and one ops guy. And so, the coaches wore every hat. And so I hired Jeff Davis, and I ended up getting the job. And so he was a one-man shop creating this curriculum that we now call Paul Journey. And now it's 6 people, and it's a living, breathing space. It's at the entrance of our building, but it is a curriculum. I mean, we have micro internships all over the world. We've had 100% job placement 7 years in a row. We are equipping them as men. They learn everything from how to tie a tie to how to have a nice dinner to doing a resume to how to do an interview. We had a group go to Italy this summer. They went to South Africa last summer. They've been to Thailand, Costa Rica. We are creating life experiences, financial literacy, tax education. We've been doing that for 16 years. And now, with an actual true financial component to, college, it just allows us to even further equip them as men. 81% of the guys who've gotten a shot at the NFL from Clemson have made the roster. That's incredible. So Paul Journey's been a huge part of that. I mean, it truly is an amazing program. And, the players can speak even more to it. We're involved in the community a lot. They learn how to serve. We like to say we're a leadership organization. We just play football doing it. And a lot of great leaders have developed. And so that's how we equip them as men, is through Paul Journey. And then having a great college experience. Well, I mean, every summer I see all these pros back in Clemson, from Dexter Lawrence to Cleveland Furrow and Christian Wilkins and so on, training for 4 and 5 weeks. I've got 25 former players on my staff. They had a great experience. We are top in the country in retention because we're living the purpose. And then over the last part's winning a championship. And so 16 years later, if you say you're purpose-driven, then you ought to have purpose-driven results. And we have the highest graduation in America. Paul Journey is the model player development organization in all of college football. Our kids are staying at a high level because they're having a great experience. And every player that I've ever signed since February of 2009, my first signing class, has won a championship. When I got the job, Clemson hadn't won the league in 20 years. Every player that has signed at Clemson since February of 2009, every player has won a championship. But it's how you win that I think really separates places and people. And there's a lot of narratives, but that's the facts. And but it all goes back to, how we put it together on the front end, getting the right people, that really align with what you believe. And you got a group of young men right here that could have gone anywhere in the country out of high school, could go anywhere. Every year they've been here, they could have gone somewhere. But they've chosen to be a part of it because they are living that purpose. Again, you got 2 that are going to graduate in December in 3 years. And then Kay's going to graduate in right on time in 3.5 years. And they're all developed as men. They're all having a great experience. And they've won championships. So the only people in our building that hadn't won a championship is those guys that just got there. So they're on the clock. But we've never put winning a championship first. It's always been about the purpose that I talked about. And again, Paul Journey is an incredible aspect to that. And Jeff Davis has been, a huge partner. And every ounce of success that we've had at Clemson, Jeff Davis has been right there. And I'm talking about from being the captain of the 1981 national championship team to later in life coming back and buying into the vision that I really wanted to create in being a head coach and how I wanted to do it. And I told him, well, here's why. This is why I want it to be that way. And then, man, he's taken it and gone from what we originally called a player relations department to Paul Journey. So it's been awesome to watch.
Coach, thank you. You can switch spots with Cade, and we'll spend a few.
That's Dabo Swinney at the podium there in Charlotte, North Carolina. Some interesting comments. Do you get the feeling, he's a very upbeat individual anyway, but did you not get the sense that he knows that he has a really good football team this year?
Oh, I think Dabo's very, very comfortable with the roster that they have coming back, especially at the quarterback position. But and retention has been a real thing there, and kind of hearing it for myself from someone who is on that staff and how they do it. You can choose to believe whatever you want, whatever comes out of Dabo's mouth, but there is something to be said for that retention and what they are selling there. I think the guys have absolutely bought in, and he was just kind of going through Paul Journey and the program that they have, and it's very impressive. It's a model, I think, that while maybe some in college athletics or football fans would scoff at, I think it's a model that maybe some people need to look at.
There's no doubt about it. He sounds very confident about this Clemson football team. One thing I am confident of is if you call Jeremy or Greg at Artec Tractor, you're going to be taken care of, just like I was. I'm 5 minutes from one of those big box stores, and I chose Artec Tractor. They've been a great sponsor of this radio station for many, many years. And so I gave them the opportunity to get my business. And it didn't take long for me to understand that Jeremy and Greg and the rest of the outstanding crew there at Artec Tractor, they're number one in their business for a reason. And I gave them my business because I needed a zero turn for my yard. And so they gave me all sorts of options. I went to artectractor.com. I took a look at the options that they have available and got on the phone with Jeremy, and Jeremy walked through the process. And these are locally owned specialists in mowers and tractors. They have Toro, Cub Cadet, Gravely, Bobcat, Spartan. They have residential to commercial grade, more brands and better selection than those big box stores that I was just talking about. They have Mahindra Bobcat tractors, everything from large home acreage that you need to take care of to small homesteads to large farms or hunting plots. Knowledgeable sales department, and those guys are just ready to serve you and help you today. Go by and see them just north of Jasper, Highway 5, or simply go to their website, artectractor.com.
Could another college football national championship be returning to Clemson, South Carolina? We'll get your phone calls, your texts, and we'll discuss it next on Three Man Front.
ACC Media Days will be wrapping up later on this afternoon. And as irony would have it, the final coach that we'll have an opportunity to hear this afternoon is going to be Bill Belichick. I think he's at 1:30 our time. So he's kind of like the Mike Elko was at SEC Football Media Days last week. So Bill Belichick will kind of put a big old bow on the ACC Media Day, so we give you an opportunity to hear Dabo, and we will hear from Bill Belichick a little bit later.
Well, the kids will be starting back to school pretty soon. I know that they hate to hear that. Maybe you as a parent like to hear that, but you also enjoy the time that you have with your family and your friends there outside of your home. Our friends at Stark Exterminators want to remind you that while summer is still here in the scorching heat, that also means the stinging and biting insects, the kind that we don't want. Stark is offering a great service to you, and it's a commitment to you, and 100% of your satisfaction as a customer is guaranteed, where a professional team member will come out to your home, your place of business, inspect it thoroughly inside and out. They'll address any current issues that you have and any issues that could come up down the road. They're going to look for those as well and come up with the most environmentally sound effective methods that they can use. Stark Exterminators. Call today for the free pest inspection or the home or business pest inspection. 855-START now. Go to starkexterminators.com. And when you do so, you're going to meet a great staff of people that care about you, and they've been family-owned for over 61 years. Call Stark today, 855-START now, starkexterminators.com. And as always, tell them Landrum from Jox sent you.
So all NFL training camps are open. Players are on the field going through their 11-11 drills. Some scary news this morning out of New York. The New York Jets, their quarterback Justin Fields left the training camp field on a cart Thursday morning after he dropped to the ground following an incomplete pass during 11-on-11 drills. He initially walked off the field to the medical tent with a heavy limp before being driven outside of the locker room. Conrad, I do believe you have an update in regards to what the New York Jets are telling everyone.
Yes. So the good news, if you are a Jets or a Justin Fields fan, is that it doesn't look like this is going to be that serious. It is a toe injury, and people within the organization have said it's not significant, and he will not be sidelined for very long. So not going to put him in danger of missing regular season or anything like that. Some people were freaking out this morning. Go trade for Kirk Cousins. You need to go get Kirk Cousins, but looks like he's going to be just fine.
Toe injury. But those toe injuries, though, man, those turf toes.
They can be tricky.
Oh, yeah. Especially if you're as mobile as he is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Sure enough. Sad news that Molly reported about 30 minutes ago out of TMZ. They're reporting, and I believe now the police are confirming that wrestling legend Hulk Hogan has passed away at age 71.
Yeah, very, very sad. And just some of my buddies that we were all big into professional wrestling when we were kids, and just the texturing and just remembering their favorite Hulk Hogan moments, whether it was the night that he appeared on Monday Nitro as Hollywood Hogan, or the early days, the cartoons, or just knowing him as that great American hero. Hulk Hogan, very sad at the age of 71.
Yeah, this week we've unfortunately had to report many of the deaths of those that's in the entertainment industry. Ozzy Osbourne died earlier this week. You had Malcolm Jamal Warner from The Cosby Show. He passed away due to a drowning accident that took place. So, yeah, it's been a rough week, to say the very least. You just heard from Dabo Swinney just a couple moments ago. And as irony would have it, the Clemson Tigers are taking on the LSU Tigers. Both claim their stadiums as Death Valley. Well, the ACC network, they had this to say about which stadium is the real Death Valley.
Borrowing names, different things. I mean, I'm just saying, I know who people think the real Death Valley is here sitting at this table and in this building and in this area, and we're going to find out for sure on
Kelsey,
August
we like to
30th.
operate with facts, and the history books for LSU are a decade behind Death Valley, Clemson, South Carolina. So it's just, I know people love to change history or rewrite history, but it is what it is, and the real one is in Clemson, South Carolina.
Will the real Death Valley please stand up? On
How about
August?
You know, it's okay to be first. Maybe Clemson, South Carolina was the first one to acknowledge that, okay, we're calling it Death Valley. But I don't think anybody in their right mind in college football is going to tell you that that is a more imposing place to play in South Carolina as it is in Baton Rouge.
No.
You can have the name first all you want to, But there is no way, shape, or form that you're going to say that Clemson is a more difficult place to play a football game than Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
But they don't pet a rock in Baton Rouge.
That's true. Or run down a hill.
I can't believe that doesn't cause more injuries, to be completely honest.
I'm waiting for Dabo to like blow his ACL as he's running down the hill.
He books it down that hill. That's where he gets his cardio for the week.
I've been to both stadiums, and the Tiger Stadium at night, that was more imposing to me.
LSU.
Yes.
Okay. Because both of them are Tigers.
Yeah. The LSU Tiger, Death Valley. Stadium.
Mike is more imposing.
Right. The actual Tiger Stadium.
What's the crazy looking Clemson Tiger called? What's his name?
I don't know. He looks like he's on crack.
You know what I'm talking about?
He does.
His eyes are all messed up.
Yeah, it's messed up.
He looks like he needs help. His eyes are just weird.
Very scary.
They're scary. That's the stuff of nightmares.
Well,
I have the name, Ollie?
I don't see how young Clemson Tiger fans, like kids, want to go and have their picture made with that.
You want the Clemson Tiger at your birthday party? No, God, no, please.
It looks like it's just the tiger.
Maybe it's a teaching tool for the youngers.
It's like the dare lion.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, this is what happens when you do crack.
Yeah. Just say
good night.
Just say no.
Yeah, it's just the tiger. That's his name.
Just the Tiger.
The tiger.
He has no name.
Yeah, the tiger.
Okay.
Just
at least it's not like Tony or something. You know, that'd be lazy.
I just think you almost went there.
Yeah, you did.
I did almost go there because their main color is orange.
800-239-WJOX. That is the phone lines, and that's how you can get in with us. And our buddy Crimson Convict wants to chime in on Clemson and Dabo.
Where have you been, Crimson Convict? I hope you're well.
Hey, guy. I'm so sorry. Listen, I have moved on into a more hands-on role with my company, so I don't get near the free time.
Is that
but
congratulations or bless your heart?
No, bless my heart.
Okay.
I mean, I was in a managerial role and actually went into sales, and then things started falling apart, so they yanked me out and put me back in to ride the ship. So, but hey, congratulations to both of y'all. Welcome back. Glad you had time to go on vacation.
Well, thank you. Pat, you're going to thank him.
Oh, thank you. Yes. We both had wonderful times. I was at the Gulf of America, and he was in on the peninsula between the Gulf of America and the Atlantic Ocean.
Well, pleasantries out of the way, man. Listen, no wonder these other media days are just an absolute flop. That was about as interesting as an episode of Teletubbies. What kind of questions are these guys coming up with? So, Landrum or Pat, please answer me. Do they have media plants with a bucket full of softballs that are pre-designated are going to get the questions? I don't want to hear a 10-minute dissertation on Paul Journey. Would a better question not be, hey, Coach, you're opening up game one with the LSU Tigers. What do you see Coach Kelly and his Heisman Trophy candidate at the helm? What kind of problems do you see them giving you, and how important is this game to your possible journey to a college football playoff? Where are those questions?
Well, and that's fair because we've said the same thing. Like, wow, you got a chance at the microphone for one of the first questions, and that's the question that you came up with. I think for some of these folks, they do have a specific question that they want answered, and it might seem to us as outsiders looking at it and going, well, golly, that's not what I wanted to hear. But others, I think that they want something that is soft, that the coach can't come back and be contentious on.
Okay, but then where's your journalistic intestinal fortitude so I can keep it G-rated? I mean, really?
I mean, because let's just be honest. I mean, I'm just being frank here. Most of the people now in the new media do not have journalism degrees or broadcast degrees.
Yeah.
These are individuals that are fans of a particular team, and they have a podcast, and they go to Best Buy and buy a microphone, and they set it up in their basement, and all of a sudden, they're breaking stories. I mean, I'm just being honest. So they're not going to rock the boat. I mean, they're not going to ask tough questions. So
video killed the radio star.
Pretty much.
Basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, all right, guys. I was just wondering. I didn't get to hear a lot of SEC media days, but I kind of doubt that the questions were along that line. I mean, maybe I was wrong.
No, there's more X's and O's at SEC Media Days. I know people has been throwing a lot of shade at SEC Media Days, but I feel like
for the most part.
There's more football.
You do get some of those questions, to be fair.
Well, yes, you do, but I think there's more hard-hitting actual football questions than you get at these other places. Hey, Crimson Convict.
But how much football is there really to talk about in the ACC?
That's true.
I'm sorry. Say that again.
Come by and see us if you get a chance. Love to have you come back on Tuesdays.
I will. And listen, I told Conrad I'll have my pen and paper ready
Sweet.
week one for an opening one. Thanks, guys.
That is perfect. Thank you so much. Rob Pate, former Auburn DB, joins us next. It is 11:48. Welcome back in. This is Jox. This is Three Man Front. Each and every Thursday, we're so happy to be joined by former Auburn DB, the Entrepreneur of the Year in the state of Alabama. Rob Pate joins us. Also a great eye doctor. Did I read that right, Rob?
I bet that yogurt is just flying off the shelf.
I'm just reading the release that Rob makes us read every week in his intro.
Oh man, I wish. No, that is y'all make me feel the best that I possibly can each week when I come on, man. You really pump me up.
Well, we try to. We're the Tony Robbins of radio. That's what we do here. All right, so let me.
I mean, is this a common theme for all of your guests?
No. Are you kidding me?
They're mean to everyone else, Rob, I promise.
No, you're one of our favorite people. Are you kidding me? Okay, so I want to get your take on the SEC Media Days. We voted 1,200 of us, but only actually 204 cast their ballot, and they've got Auburn slated at number 11. Where do you have Auburn in the grand pecking order from 1 through 16? Is that about right for you, or are they more of maybe a 4, 5, 6, 7 type team?
I mean, obviously, I'm hoping that's the case, but the truth is that nobody has any idea, because like I keep saying when I come on is that I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt that Auburn has much better personnel and feels much better with the roster that they walk into the season with, but I can tell you absolutely nothing about what Texas A&M did, in the portal, or what Arkansas has returning, or any of that kind of stuff. You can't manage rosters as a fan. Like how many other programs know that Auburn got a safety 2 weeks ago from Texas A&M? Texas A&M knows that, and Auburn knows that, but Arkansas doesn't know that, and that's a kid that Auburn expects to play and contribute. So I have no idea what Oklahoma did 2 weeks ago or what Missouri did. So it's just you don't know until you get out there and start playing. But I do know that Auburn's going to have to win games. They're going to have to win games from a perception standpoint, from a recruiting standpoint, and from a continuity standpoint. Because if things go south and Auburn doesn't win like they need to this year, then it's going to affect the coaching staff.
Rob, we get the unfortunate news of the arrest of Auburn now sophomore wide receiver Malcolm Simmons. Haven't heard much else outside of the initial reports. Assuming that he is not available this season, how does that affect Hugh Freeze and that Auburn offense in your eyes?
Well, I mean, you lose one of your weapons, a kid that it was obvious, he was lightning in a bottle with the ball in his hands. I think the solace for Auburn folks and the offense is that if there's one position that you feel really good about from a depth standpoint, and where could you afford to lose somebody? I mean, it's probably at the wide receiver position, and it creates an opportunity for other guys to step up. A guy like Perry Thompson, or some of these other young talented receivers that Auburn has on the roster. But you can't replace experience, and Malcolm Simmons had some of that, and he's obviously was a guy that was explosive and probably primed to have a big year. But at the end of it, there's consequences for actions, and I'm not convicting him. I'm just don't know how all that's going to play out, and we'll just have to leave that into the hands of the people that make those decisions. So we'll see.
Rob, I wanted to pivot and ask you your opinion on Butch Thompson. Word got out yesterday that he has signed a new 6-year deal with Auburn, $1.5 million base salary. He's got a ton of fruitful incentives. They're going to increase the pay rate for his assistants on his staff, and it's going to allow him to be at Auburn as long as he wants to be there. Just your thoughts on what Butch Thompson, to me, one of the best coaches in the SEC, and he's kind of under the radar, and he's getting paid his due, at least at the bank, in regards to this extension.
I think he's done an incredible job, and both of these baseball programs in the state of Alabama at the SEC level, both Alabama and Auburn. I mean, you guys know that they've been competing with one arm tied behind their back for a long, long time.
Absolutely.
And for him to be able to get guys, the amount of pitchers that are in Major League Baseball right now that wore Auburn jerseys are, beyond what it's ever been. And he's just a good man, and the players respect that. They play hard for him. And one of the stories that I respect about him is Auburn High School had a kid that was committed to Mississippi State. Butch Thompson recruited him there. Rowdy Jordan was his name. Played on Mississippi State's World Series team. When he was coming out of Auburn High School, was the same year Butch Thompson went from Mississippi State to Auburn. And he could have come in there and sold him on Auburn, and could have come in and, he's a legacy at Auburn. And he told him, he said, listen, everything I told you about Mississippi State is true. It's a great program, and, I wish you the most success there. And Rowdy went, had a great year, had a great career, and won a World Series. And I just respected that in him, and kind of how he treated that young man. And I think that the way that they've gotten that stadium upgraded and the direction of that program, it's well deserved for him. He's done a fantastic job.
We got about 30 seconds, Rob. You've got a lot of kids. Did you ever take all of your kids on vacation to Disney?
No, we've never been to Disney. My wife has taken my oldest daughter to Disney, and they've had time together. But my whole family, no. I need a pay raise for that, I believe.
Because the Pate picture, that was what I kept thinking about in my mind. That was the mental image, was you and a bunch of strollers and kids and people hot and complaining.
Heck no. No, walking across the, getting all those kids to the beach for a week is enough for me.
Rob, thanks so much for joining us.
All right, guys. War Eagle.
Rob Pate on the Higginbotham Hotline.
Always appreciate Rob Pate joining us each and every Thursday. You also heard from Rodney Orr. We played some Dabo Sweeney. Bill Belichick coming up in the final hour of the program. It's his first ACC Media Days. Not sure if it'll be his last. Definitely his first. His girlfriend, Jordan, was nowhere to be found as he was walking into the Hilton there in Charlotte. So I guess he drove down for the day. Or do you think he took the private UNC jet from Chapel Hill to Charlotte? That's probably like a 10-minute. Probably takes you longer to taxi on the runway and fly out of Chapel Hill to Charlotte on a private plane as opposed to just get in a car and drive.
Yeah. Big motorcade.
Think so?
Yeah.
Bunch of I did not see any state troopers. Did you? On that video, I tweeted out a video of him walking in, and I did not see any state troopers.
Doesn't carry the same weight he used to, I guess.
Do you have state troopers in New England? In Boston?
I'm sure he probably had Secret Service in New England for about 20 years. They weren't going to let anything happen to him.
Probably right.
They call them stadies up there, right?
I thought they called them Mounties.
No, that would be Canada.
Sad news today to report Landrum from the entertainment and sports world. A very famous individual passed away.
Yeah, just so sad to hear the news that a legendary professional wrestler and entertainer, Hulk Hogan, passing away at the age of 71, and it looks like the preliminary reports are saying cardiac arrest. So I know that is taking a lot of people by surprise. 71 years old. There's some of those iconic figures that are not immortal. You know that the day is going to come, but there's that small part of you that just kind of thinks or wants to pretend that they're going to carry on forever. Because I've, in my entire existence here on this earth, all I've ever known, like many of you, has been Hulk Hogan. Now, because when I came along, Hulk Hogan, that was it. That was, whether it was a Rocky movie, whether it was a cartoon, whether it was Saturday night main event on television, that's all I've known. And now at the age of 71, him being gone. I did see where he and his wife were baptized 18 months ago.
Saw that. Mm-hmm.
Which that's awesome. But yeah, this is affecting a lot of different people. And just from my phone and blowing up, and I'm sure yours too. Hey, did you hear the news? Our listeners texting in on the text line.
Very much so. I mean, very rarely do you get an individual that can think cross different genres that affect so many different people, whether it's, wrestling, entertainment, politics. He was very involved over the last 5, 6, 7 years. Friends with the Trump family.
Yep.
Was at many rallies for Donald Trump. So sad news. Passed away today at the age of 71 in Clearwater, Florida. It looks like that the NCAA expansion of the basketball tournament that we've heard a lot about over the last few weeks, it looks like that is going to be put on the back burner, sort of like the college football playoff expansion, right? Charlie Baker was in Washington, D.C. on Thursday, and he was speaking to the National Press Club. And the question came up about the expansion of the NCAA men's and women's basketball tournament, and he says logistics are likely to push expansion if adopted in 2026 and 27. He says he's in favor of expansion, but he says expansion is not about money, but it's about assuring no top 60 team is left out. So maybe it's a logistics question, not about where they're going to play the games, but kind of like we are with the College Football Playoff Committee and the formula.
How are we selecting these next 8 teams?
Correct. He says, I don't buy the idea that some of the teams that currently get left out aren't good. I think they are, and I think that sucks. That's from Charlie Baker of the NCAA.
I mean, I guess you can make the same argument for football, and I'm not saying some of those teams maybe didn't deserve a shot, but I mean, we're arguing about who the 70th best team in college basketball is. Like,
well, and yes, and you're right. But if we're dead set on adding teams to the tournament, adding the tournament field, you think it's tough to go over the schedule? At least we have quad 1, quad 2, and you have something that you can that's comparable, where you can compare and contrast, right? And at least we, as basketball fans, can look at that and say, okay, well, I can see where they were coming from here. But there's also a whole lot more data that goes in. And then eye test, how are they playing right now? We see it every year. That team that just got left out, that's one of the best teams right now in the whatever, fill in the blank.
And I guess for the smaller programs, right, getting in the tournament, the notoriety that brings your school and your program is important, right? So there's a lot of schools that, they don't care necessarily. They're not going there to win a national championship. Now, obviously, if that happens, that's great. But you just want to get on TV and have a game and be a part of a bracket and have people talking about your school. And I can understand that element of why you want as many teams to get in as possible.
Well, part of me is rewarding those schools that win their regular season, right? The team that navigates an 18-game conference schedule and finishes on top, but they miss out because whatever happened in the semifinal or the championship game of their conference tournament, and all of a sudden they're not going. And maybe a team that has a losing record caught fire. We saw it again this past year, and they make it. But whatever the case, we're going to get more teams. It's just now a matter of when, and hopefully they don't go the route of the college football playoff with some of the decisions to go into that. I think just because there's a lot of money involved here, but we're not talking about how we select the 12-team field or the 16-team field. We're talking about adding to already what seems like a really big tournament.
Yeah. I think it is coming. I believe that they just did not like the short window of time. And shout out to Martin Newton. He is now the chairperson for the NCAA selection committee for this next year. So hopefully Martin will continue. We've had him on every year, last couple of years in regards to him giving us kind of pulling the curtain back. So now he will be the main man in charge. So congratulations to Martin Newton.
He will handle it.
Absolutely. No better person to be in charge of that committee than Martin Newton. So it is in good hands with him. Braves lose yesterday 9-3 to the Giants. Justin Verlander threw 5 scoreless innings to earn his first win of the season. Rafael Devers hit a pair of home runs. I know you were traveling yesterday, but you got to give credit to his first home run he hit. That was, 0.90 inches off the ground?
It was the only other person I've ever seen hit a baseball like that is Vlad Guerrero, where you could just anywhere, didn't matter, you were going to find a way to make contact. It was incredible. It
was just one of those things where he just kind of went down and literally swatted it off the dirt.
I mean, it's about to bounce off the ground. He hits it for a home run.
And he hit it for a home run. He hit 2 yesterday. In the last 2 games, the Braves have been outscored 18-3.
Yeah.
The offense has gone south. Atlanta is off today. They will visit Texas tomorrow. Joey Wentz is on the mound, 5.71 ERA. He's going to face Nathan Eovaldi, who's had a really good year. He is 7-3 with a 1.58 earned run average.
Man, it has been a minute since I had this amount, if you call it any. Well, I have no hope left in this season, but it's just now it's tough to watch.
I think after yesterday, because I tried to tabulate it, I think you would have to go 40-21 the rest of the way, or 40-20.
I don't know.
To have a shot.
I don't know if they can win 20 games.
Well, that's okay. As bad as it has been, you did not lose 2 out of 3 to the worst team in modern baseball history and get shut out in Colorado like we did yesterday. So, yeah, it could always be worse.
It was the altitude.
Yeah, altitude sickness.
Yeah,
that's exactly what it was.
That's what got him.
Yeah, especially Nolan Arenado, because he was not used to that kind of rare air, was he?
What was it, the first shutout they had in 220 games?
220 games for the Rockies.
It's a lot of games.
Yep. And our manager had the quote of the year. It was the worst game we've played all year.
That's a good answer.
That's a
great answer. That's big time.
It's okay. My manager, the Yankees, had 4 errors yesterday, and after the game, he said that he has a great defensive team, and he is ready for them to bounce back.
So he and your pitching coach got tossed last night, right?
They did.
Yeah, I watched that video.
Aaron Boone loves getting thrown out of a game.
Yeah. Well, he was protecting his pitching coach, and then he said something going back to the dugout.
Yeah. Well, let's hold some players accountable, Aaron. Let's start there.
Yeah. Blue Jays now 4 games in front of y'all.
They're playing like the best team in baseball right now.
How could you allow a team in Canada
I don't know, Pat.
have a better record than the greatest sports franchise in history, the New York Yankees? How could you let that happen?
They're on the metric system.
It's a new era. NIL, the parity is crazy in MLB.
The transfer
Pat.
portal?
Yeah, it's
the exchange rate for Canadian dollars is better than American dollars.
Oh,
Is that what it is?
Yeah, they're getting these players at pennies on the dollar, Pat.
The tariff has not affected the Toronto Blue Jays.
No, it has not.
I don't think that they expected the production that they gotten out of George Springer this year.
He looks like when he was on the Astros. They're a good team. Good ball club.
Playing very well right now. So Dave from Hoover gave us his thoughts the other day on the trade deadline. We are, 7 days away?
Yes.
I think it's
31st.
Yep.
1 week from today.
So
strike a match.
Now that would be my team. Honestly, what are you thinking? What would you like to see happen?
Oh, man. I would like to see some moves, whether it's if you can get – I just don't know what they can get. I would like for the Braves to equip themselves. I don't want to see this entire same roster again in 2026.
Because you've been there and done that.
Yeah.
And not to mention the fact that everybody on your roster will be a year older.
Right. And if you don't think you're getting max value now, what makes you think you're going to get max value a year from now?
So, but outside of the pending free agents like Iglesias, Ozuna, who else would you take phone calls on?
Oh, everybody except for Acuna. I don't take phone calls on him. I don't.
Would you be more likely to listen to calls on Strider or Schwellenbach right now?
Strider.
Would you really?
Yeah.
Hey, and I will throw some major kudos to him yesterday in the post game. I don't know if you saw his press conference.
He was great.
Like he called it the way it was. He said it is embarrassing the way that we're playing baseball right now, and he goes, and by the way, that includes me.
Yeah.
So I mean, major kudos to Strider for telling it the way it is and owning up to his own problems.
I'd like for Austin Riley to stay just because he's a Mississippi guy. And that's just a personal favorite for me, along with Acuna. Schwellenbach, yes, I would like to have Strider and Schwellenbach. But other than that, I like Matt Olson, but if you can get max value, if somebody was willing to trade, but Albies for sure. You got to go out. You got to find a shortstop. What are you going to do at catcher?
Now, they did draft, if I'm not mistaken, like 3 shortstops.
Yes, they did.
Now, I'm not saying they're ready next year.
Right, but hoping that one
got
could be the
in
answer for the
system.
future. Michael Harris definitely taking phone call, but
who's going to take? Yeah,
just in a bad spot.
It's going to be interesting because I try to read as much as I possibly can from many different areas in regards to New York guys, West Coast guys, that cover the game, and almost everybody. At least the way that Atlanta is telegraphing themselves is that there's not going to be much change. Now, it will be in the offseason, but I'm talking about here at the trading deadline.
Yeah.
Like they don't, Ozuna, that's, I think, a given. Iglesias, probably. But outside of that, everything I've read does not give any indication that Atlanta is going to be very active one way or another.
Well, and it's what are other people willing to deal right now? And if you're Atlanta, I think the hope continues to be that some of these guys that have underperformed all season start hitting their stride a little bit, and you can get more for them in the offseason. But
I can only
this season, there's nothing that you can do at the trade deadline, Pat, as you well know.
Yeah. Well,
that's going to change this team.
Yeah, we just went 1-5 on a road trip. I mean, we were like literally 2.5, 3 games out of the wild card, and now we are looking at basically opening up the roster and saying, "Who do you want? What do you got? You got batting practice baseballs? Sure, we'll take them." I mean, at this point,
we did too. It's okay, Pat.
Do you have a cartoon character that you're willing to trade?
Whatever the case may be.
Have you coined? Have you trademarked a slogan? Something that we can have.
Anything that we can. But it's still one of my favorite times of the year. I love the trade deadline.
Yes, you
love
do.
it. Love it. Love it. Love it. We will take your phone calls when we come back on this Thursday edition of 3-Man Front on Jox. Phone lines are open at 1-800-239-WJOX here on 3-Man Front. Appreciate you tuning us in on this Thursday. The Courtesy GMC text line 205-834-9450. Coming up at the bottom of the hour, it'll be the final movie review of the summer. Cocaine Bear, Molly endured. Little birdie told me might not have been one of the top movies that she has seen over the last 2 years. But hey, I'm just going on what the word on the street is.
Well, another word on the street is all about Big Whiskeys because they are the place for great food of all varieties. They've got a great menu ranging from apps, salads, burgers to steaks. Their bar features unique cocktails, over 120 whiskeys, including whiskey on tap. And they have plenty of screens, so this football season, you can catch all the games all weekend long. They also offer different food and drink specials for each day of the week. They have happy hour, and the kitchen is open late every night. So go check them out in the Stadium Choice Village off Highway 150 near the Hoover Met.
Phone calls coming in, 800-239-WJOX, as well as text. We will get to the text in just a little bit, but right now on the phones, let's go to Dave in Hoover. Dave, how are you?
Man, how you been?
Man.
Most wonderful place on earth. You just had to go, didn't you?
I did. Me and my wife, we had to do it. We share that experience for ourselves. We checked that off the list.
Did you go to Star Wars? Go to Star Wars?
Went to the Star Wars. That was so impressive. Wow.
Wasn't it, though?
It was. All the Harry Potter stuff, and I didn't grow up like a Harry Potter fan, but if you don't walk away just amazed at what goes into those rides and the queues waiting for the rides,
Yep. Crazy. Hey, well, Pat and Conrad and I had a conversation about Acuna. For what I'm concerned, what I look at is Schwellenbach and Strider are off the table. Of course, Strider, he runs into a problem every now and then, but he's still got to get himself back mentally as well as physically. But Acuna, you got to get something for him while you can. His contract's up in the next year at $17 million a year. Rays have an option on him. He's not going to take it. He's going to come. Look, Soto got $75 million a year for 10 years. He'll get 100. You better get something for it while you can. He is not going to stay. I know he said all the right things, I want to stay, but if you saw his tweet when he said, hey, if that had been me loafing down to first and getting thrown out at second, I would have been benched. And so there's just a little bit of animosity there. Maybe if Snitker goes and retires at the end of the year, he'll come back. But from what I'm hearing from my friends that are scouts and know people in Atlanta, they say he's gone. You better get something for him while you can. Murphy, some of those guys, Baldwin I keep, he's off the table.
Well, and
they got to get pitching. What I'm pissed off about real quick is they draft 3 shortstops and one of them is a high school kid, okay? He's 5 years away from being anywhere near, and you need help now. You need pitching. And the old Braves, they used to go after the best pitching available because you use that for trade bait later, like they did when they got screwed by the Adam Wainwright deal.
Yeah, the Acuna theory and that train of thought, you're coming from a business perspective, which is smart. I was going from more of the fan sentiment, but you're right. You're not going to pay what he's going to demand. Let's be honest. Ronald Acuna's next team that he'll be with, he'll be a Yankee, he'll be a Dodger. He'll throw out the who's who that would pay that kind of money for him. The Braves are not going to do that. So if you can get max value and get a boatload of players, current minor leaguers, you need to bolster that minor league. So do it.
If I had the inclination that the Braves would be battling and looking at a World Series next year, maybe you hold on from that year and you take that chance. But their bullpen is completely done. Iglesias' fastballs topped out at 94. That's not even major league pitching anymore.
No.
That's bad in practice.
Well, and
so
you just said that.
What's going wrong with that bullpen is just,
It's not totally the case, but it looks like you're starting from scratch. I mean, if we get these same results that we got from these guys that you're depending on next year, then I say blow it all up. I don't know what the deal is, but
well, they're not as bad as they're playing this year. Look,
no,
when
they're
they won
not.
the World Series, they had career years. I don't expect career years, elite years. I expect them to be somewhere in the middle, which is where they've been. Ozzie hitting 270, 280, Riley hitting 260, 275, driving in over 100 runs, hitting 30 to 40 home runs. That's not elite. 290, hitting 45 bombs like Olsen had. That was an elite year. They just need to all maintain somewhere towards it, not the top as far as being elite, but in the middle, and their production will be fine. But the pitching staff is what's just totally falling apart. Granted, 3 of them have been out for a while. 1, 2, and 3 have been hurt for most of the year, but it is what it is. But I'd say tear it down and start over.
Dave, thank you very much. We appreciate it. That's one Braves fan to another. Yeah. What would the Yankees be willing to give for Acuna?
Ooh, we will give you.
Don't say Giancarlo Stanton.
Oh.
I mean, Acuna would have to garner the largest contract
in history.
I mean, because
over Soto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Soto defensively is a joke. Acuna
This
runs.
is true.
Acuna runs circles around him.
The flat-footed throw.
Oh, that's one of the best throws I've seen in my entire life.
Just for what Pat just brought up, the difference in those two players.
Yeah. I mean,
Juan Soto can't.
It's not even close.
He can't throw.
So, I mean, if you're the Braves, I mean, you think about what Soto garnered when he left the Nats to go to the Padres. And this is off the top of my head. I want to say the Padres gave up 3 of their top prospects and then some more that was not part of your top 10 prospects. I mean, it was a haul.
I was about to say it's the Nationals ace now, James Wood, who's in the home run derby, and Abrams.
Mackenzie Gore.
Well, yeah, that's their pitcher. Yeah.
I mean, they gave up the very best of what they had for Soto. And then again, they turned around ultimately and traded him to the Yankees, but they didn't get the haul back from the Yankees that they gave up to the Nats.
We're calling that the Trent Grisham trade now, Pat.
Oh, are you? But my point being is that Atlanta could, oh my gosh.
Oh, you stock up that farm system.
Wow.
And at one point, it was next guy up. Who's the next guy in the organization? That's not the case anymore.
No, the Braves are 26th, 27th ranked franchise in regards to their minor league system. So, I mean, it's very poor right now. And if you're looking to refurbish and get those numbers up and have some guys ultimately help you out, be homegrown talent, man.
You've got a beautiful product there at the Battery in Truist and a lot to offer, but you're not going to be able to garner the attendance, the interest, the money from a fan perspective if you have a team that looks like they're miserable every time that they run out there.
No, you're absolutely right. And once again, I'll bring up my team. Cardinals every single year were number 3, number 4 in attendance. Over 3 million people every single year. And 2 years ago, when we had the worst season in over 100 years of Cardinal baseball, the fans had enough because the front office decided to sit on their hands and not do much, if anything. And so they have rebelled at the box office, which that's their right. They're sending a message to the ownership that we're not putting up with this. We're not going down there and buying tickets and going to the concessions and pay for parking in the parking decks that you own and all that kind of stuff. And this year, the Cardinals are 18th in attendance.
Well, there's
it's going to get worse because the rest of the season they're going to trade away whatever parts they have, and nobody's going to go to the games.
Well, especially right now with this weather, the way that it is outside, you can choose to go and be hot and miserable, but at least in going to Orlando, you can change the attraction, right?
Absolutely.
You can change where you go and how you spend your time. Go and sit in 110-degree heat index to watch that. No way.
Nope.
I'll just be miserable watching and listening to it.
But I tell you what, it would be that would be a fascinating conversation. Like if someone called Anthropoulos and just said, hey, just curious, what would it take if we wanted to throw something out there with Acuna? He goes, I need your top 5 in your minor league system. And then I need your draft picks over the next couple of years. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean,
Yep.
I would love to. And then I also want your starting shortstop. You know, you've got like a major league ready shortstop because the Braves need a shortstop. We're going to start there, and then you're going to give me, your top 5 in your system.
Just a crazy, I can't believe this trade just happened, but where both sides feel like that they won.
But whoever would trade for Acuna, and it depends on when Acuna would be, given the opportunity to leave, then would that team have the capability, and would Acuna be open to signing a long-term extension? Which, in my opinion, it would probably be a case where he wanted to elect for free agency.
Unless somebody throws, $800 million at him.
Yeah.
It's not like Ronald Acuna has not been informed of the value that the Braves are getting with his current deal. Which was a fair deal at the time.
Yeah, and he's been hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, let's not kid ourselves and say that Ronald Acuna Jr. has played 160 games a year as a Brave, because he hasn't. He's been hurt. And there could be some buyer's remorse out there from people because they say, look, he is injury prone. I mean, that's a medical fact. That's not an opinion. But I'd still take him over a lot of other guys that are out there. Goes without saying. Coming up next, the final movie review of the summer. She's over here tearing up. She's so emotional already, thinking that this is the last time that she will give a movie review for this summer. Cocaine Bear was the movie. That's next on Three Man Front. $12:34 here on Jox. For the last 2 summers, we have tasked Molly with watching some movies that our listeners get an opportunity each and every Friday to vote on. Molly is out of town tomorrow, and so we wanted to wrap up the summer. When she took this job here at Jox, we told her that it was imperative that she watched the incredible movie known as Cocaine Bear. And we were going to watch it with her last year, but because of timing and Landrum's schedule and all that kind of stuff, we just could not make it happen.
Yes.
So we decided that to wrap up this summer movie series, we would give her the opportunity to watch the Academy Award-winning film known as Cocaine Bear. I'm not sure if they won an Academy Award, but it should have.
Sundance, I'm pretty sure it plays really high.
Or maybe a Peabody Award, whatever the case may be. This is what we call this series Molly's Movie Minute.
It's time for Molly's Movie Minute. Cinematic insights with expert critiques and analysis. And now, let's journey through the world of film with Molly Robinson.
All right, Malls, what you got?
Oh. You know, I really wish that I could say that we ended this summer of Molly's Movie Minute out with the bang.
Huh?
But unfortunately did not.
What?
I
What are you
absolutely
saying?
hated this movie.
You hated it?
The
You
worst
hated
movie
it?
I've ever seen.
Gosh.
Whoa, whoa,
What?
whoa.
What?
Now
The
time
worst
out.
you've ever
Time
seen?
out.
You need to see more movies.
Well, I haven't seen a lot of movies.
Well, there's a lot
I'm
worse
sure
movies
there's
out
a
there.
lot worse movies. This was horrible.
Wait, why was it horrible?
I have made it very well known on this show that I don't like blood. I don't like gore. And this is literally Cocaine Bear. And if you don't know what it's about, based on the name, it's about a bear that somehow gets into like 75 pounds of cocaine.
Okay, can we not just start with the bear, number one? It's not the bear's fault.
No, absolutely not. But the 75 pounds of cocaine makes him go rabid and start killing a bunch of people. And there was a lot of scenes, and I have a very light stomach when it comes to this stuff. I couldn't watch. Even if it was like...
She didn't like when the
jokingly-
lady fell out of the
No.
ambulance and smacked her head on the
No.
pavement. She didn't like that.
I can't.
I think that the way that they portrayed it, though, was comical.
I was like watching Airplane or Naked Gun.
Yeah, like
It was that type of humor.
no, there go the legs.
Ugh. See, I can't do that. I hated it.
You are kidding, right? You're like just doing this for...
No, I'm serious. The best part about this movie is the fact I never have to watch it again. And I'm being so serious.
Oh, there's a sequel.
No, I'm okay.
There might be a time, Molly, in your mid-30s, you're like, you know what? I'm going to give this one more try.
Maybe, but for right now,
It's raining outside.
So you would rather watch The Lost Boys on repeat
then
than
watch
ever
this
watch
again.
this again?
Correct.
Wow.
So what was the worst part?
All of it. It was nasty.
So there was not one redeeming quality of Cocaine Bear.
No. Even my favorite character, well, most of the characters died, but my favorite character died. And the poor dog.
Okay, so if you had to find one part of the movie, did you not laugh at anything in the movie?
I did laugh. Okay. This is another redeeming quality. Maybe the only thing. I'm not saying this is okay. But
Don't give us a disclaimer.
no.
Just tell us the part that you thought was okay.
when the kids were hiking and they find the
Uh-huh.
cocaine, and he's like, "Yeah, I've done it before," and she's like, "No, you haven't." He goes, "Oh yeah, I totally have," and she's like, "Well, how much do you have to take?" And he goes, "I don't know, maybe a tablespoon." That was really funny. I'm not gonna lie. Don't do drugs, but that made me laugh.
Wow,
There's
so,
another
So it's
redeeming-
cool if kids do cocaine, but not if a bear just does what it naturally does, which is tear people apart.
Which death was the most disturbing to you?
All of them. I literally
No,
hated
give
it.
me one.
No, I can't. They all were disgusting. I don't. I can't.
It was really good we didn't get her to watch Saw if she doesn't like all the gore.
Oh, I can't do it. Again, I've made it very well known that I have a light stomach when it comes to that kind of stuff. And I couldn't do it.
I want follow-up movies on the ripple effect of that cocaine being lost in the woods and getting consumed by the bear.
So you don't think that the bear was snubbed by the Academy, not getting nominated for Best Lead Actor?
No.
Which death disturbed you the most?
All of them, Pat. We've been over
I will
that.
tell you the ambulance death. That was pretty.
That made me laugh. Now,
I mean,
maybe that's a bad.
I mean, don't
sign
get
for
me wrong. I laughed my what off when that happened because
I'm
it's
glad
so
you guys found
ridiculous.
it funny.
It's just so ridiculous.
Oh, yeah,
It's ridiculous.
Like I mean, it's like that didn't really happen.
No.
And that wasn't the bear's
why it's
fault,
funny.
really. It was more of the driver's fault in that situation.
Yeah.
Ugh. I don't like blood.
That would be a good ride or an attraction.
The cocaine bear ambulance ride?
Well, the bear's chasing you.
So,
or that.
So are you telling us that this is the worst movie you have ever seen in your life?
Yes. Granted, I haven't seen a lot of movies.
See, I'm just disappointed that we didn't watch it as a group.
I know.
Because
Right.
I would have laughed.
We would have been laughing and Molly would have been horrified.
That would have been
I
tremendous.
literally hated it.
Did it even get a half a star?
I gave it half.
Half a star?
I literally,
nice.
that's it. That's all I get.
Okay, so I'm gonna. What did you tweet out? What is? Because you do a little write up.
I can read my write up for you.
Yeah, read it.
What I enjoyed the most about this movie is the fact that I never have to watch it again. So much blood and gore, I was not a fan at all. There were some funny parts, but I hated the fact that my favorite character was killed, like most in this movie, and that's all.
Okay.
I have nothing else to say.
So now we have to extend it by a week so you can watch the Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, and tell us which one is worse.
Absolutely.
Yes,
I'm
see, that's
staying
a
away
good.
from
That's a
that.
good comparison.
Yeah.
So which one is worse?
I'm okay.
Did you like the Airplane movies? Did you like Naked Gun?
See, I've never seen Naked Gun, but I've seen Airplane.
Okay. Did you like Airplane?
See, I was like probably 9 last time I watched it. Way too young watching it, but I haven't seen that in a very long time. All I remember from Airplane is Roger, Roger, and Don't Call Me Shirley. Stuff like that.
Turkish Prison.
See, it still gets me.
It's a Clarence.
Turkish Prison.
Yeah. I like when the eggs start. The eggs, with the boiled eggs. Around the, that scene.
Food poisoning on the airplane.
Order the fish.
Yep.
Man, I'm disappointed. I really thought you were. Now, I didn't expect you to give it 5 stars. I'm not, that dumb.
No, I'm
but
shocked too.
I thought it'd be a 3 out of 5, and you'd say, yeah, it was exactly what you guys said it was.
No, I hated it.
She says it.
Do you
so
think
nice.
after this
I hated it.
after this movie came out, do you think that someone put millions of dollars into studying the effects of cocaine on a bear? I'm just wondering.
Maybe.
Would that surprise anyone?
I can't get over this is based on a true story.
Like somebody
That's
got
insane.
It's
research grant money
loosely
No, I
based,
know,
Molly,
I
to
know.
test cocaine on bears and how that would
I
affect.
think they got the part that it was a bear and there was some type of cocaine, and that's about it.
It also was
probably.
funny in the very beginning when they were quoting, I guess, the story that it's based off of.
Yeah.
It was like, source Wikipedia.
Yeah,
That was good.
See, you did have some laughs. There was a few.
Okay, but that was the first 30 seconds of the movie.
Well, it started off with a bang. That's great.
That's right.
Yeah.
So overall, how is this movie rated or ranked? I should say, Conrad.
I mean, it has a 66 on Rotten Tomatoes. It has a 6 out of 10 on IMDb.
I think
that's
people
not bad.
knowing what, like having that expectation. This is going to be silly. Going in.
Oh, I knew it was going to be silly. I just can't deal with that type of like. This is just I cannot watch this movie.
See,
audience scores a 7 out of 10. So that the average viewer. So I guess that would mean it's pretty good.
See, I would have been more bothered going into watching Pee-wee's Big Adventure, knowing what I know about Pee Wee Herman.
Oh yeah, later. Yes.
Than I would be going and watching Cocaine Bear, a bunch of people supposedly being ripped apart by a bear.
Ugh.
But you gave Pee Wee big numbers, didn't you?
Yeah, I liked Pee Wee. Sorry, I don't like blood.
Do you still
violence.
view bears the same way? Do you blame the bear?
No, it wasn't his fault.
Yeah, see, exactly. The bear was a victim here.
I still don't like the movie.
Just say no.
Just say no, kids.
Just say no.
Don't do drugs.
Wow.
Sorry to disappoint you.
See, if he survived, he would have turned into the Clemson Tiger. That's what happens when you keep using.
Yep.
Look at the eyes.
Well, look how skinny that thing is.
That's right. Yeah.
Hadn't eaten.
All right, so that's the worst of the summer. What was the number one movie this summer for you?
I think it was Good Will Hunting,
Much different movie.
and I liked when Harry Met Sally too.
So those were the two best, and then
I think so.
Cocaine Bear was the worst. What was the next to worst?
Oh, Lost Boys.
Lost Boys.
Mhm.
Okay.
But that is significantly better than Cocaine Bear, right?
Yes. Yeah,
Mhm.
she's definitely got cocaine as the worst thing that has ever been printed to film. Ever.
This is great. I think this is your best review yet, Molly. I'm a big fan.
What if she gets on the plane heading to Milwaukee? Oh, we've got a wonderful comedy that we're going to be airing called Cocaine Bear.
I'm okay.
You have like a spinoff.
Should have been a TV series.
No, you have a spinoff of another animal. I don't know. Like,
Ooh, a kangaroo, that would be fun. Just hopping around everywhere.
well, Simba starts running with the wrong crowd.
Here, I've got a great plot for you. What if you have sharks that are picked up in a storm and is dropped into metropolitan areas around the country?
Are you thinking tornado?
That's a good idea.
Could do that. What about a velociraptor that is also a preacher?
Velocipaster.
That's good.
You can find anything nowadays, can't you?
You can.
That is good.
I'd watch that.
Well, I'm kind of sad that this is the way we're ending this series.
I am too.
It's a
I'm
real bummer.
Hoping for higher marks.
Yeah, thanks, Molly. Thanks for bumming us out on this
Thanks for assigning
Thursday.
me a bad movie. I just didn't like it.
Okay, that's fine. You've made your point.
We all have our own opinions. I just didn't like it.
Okay. Well, we will move along then.
Yeah.
The text line is open,
It
205-834-9450, 1-800-239-WJOX. Next hour, we will continue the fun and frivolity. If you didn't think that the review of Cocaine Bear was enough, Bill Belichick, next hour here on Three Man Front. We will get to your text messages next at 205-834-9450, and it's brought to you each and every day by Courtesy GMC in Trustful. Now's the time to check out Courtesy GMC in Trustful. The very best in inventory and service is found right there off of I-459 exit 32 at Courtesy GMC. Over 9 acres of inventory for you to choose from. Courtesy is there to help you discover the perfect fit for your next vehicle, whether it's advanced safety features or cutting-edge technology. Courtesy and their friendly sales staff is ready to guide you towards the ideal choice. Courtesy is going to beat any deal on any new GMC. They're the lowest price dealer in the state of Alabama. You don't need to go anywhere else to buy a brand new GMC. Just go to Trustful right off of I-459 exit 32 or check them out online at courtesybirmingham.com.
A lot of texts coming in on the Jox text line, 205-834-9450. Myriad of topics, including Molly's review of the movie Cocaine Bear. This listener texted in 1985, the bear died of an overdose in a Georgia forest. I agree with Molly. Horrible movie.
Thank you. I'm glad someone agrees.
Hastings chimes in and says, thank you, Molly, for persuading me. I'm officially watching Cocaine Bear after Molly's review. This movie sounds awesome.
I'm glad I could persuade you.
Suggestion coming in, tell Molly to watch Rubber.
No, that's actually the worst movie that I've ever seen.
Who plays in that?
A tire? I'm not kidding.
It's a tire?
This is a legitimate movie. It's
I was
about a
thinking
tire.
dolphin like Flubber or
No,
something.
it is a tire that rolls through the
Flipper.
desert and blows stuff up. I'm not kidding you. It is the dumbest thing. I watched it in high school. It was a joke thing. It's awful. Awful.
Molly is as soft as her corn huskers. Laughing, crying emoji.
Sorry.
I heard Matt Rule loves Cocaine Bear.
Okay, I don't know the name. Carson from Madison says if Molly thinks Cocaine Bear is horrible, she should watch, what is that? Midsommar?
Oh, that's an amazing
Midsommar?
movie. Oh, that's a great movie.
Oh, I'm staying away from that one too. That's the one with the Harry.
Florence
not
Pugh.
Harry Styles. He's in the other movie with her. But
Yeah,
I know
yeah,
this
yeah.
movie that you're talking about.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
that's one of my favorite movies, but it's not for everybody.
Other potential spin-offs are in that genre. Corey says, how about Crystal Meth Kangaroo? Maybe.
I would watch that. You have Walter White do a cameo?
Kangaroos are already mean anyway.
Oh.
That's true. They'll punch you. Just imagine them hopping around like that, though. That'd be entertaining.
I was almost attacked and killed at the San Antonio Zoo by a kangaroo. True story.
Can you elaborate on that story?
Yeah, I got too close to the fence.
Baby?
No. One just decided to jump on the fence and start wailing.
Really?
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
My wife can back that up. She was like, "Oh my gosh, what is going on? What did you do?" And I said, "I didn't do anything. Kangaroo's crazy."
Pizza Larry, another recommendation. Polly want a doobie? Cowboys says, I'm on Molly's side on this. The commercials told me not to go. Yep.
It is. I will say this. It's probably the most accurately advertised movie I've ever seen. It is exactly what you think it is.
Hey, everyone. Larry here. I agree 100% with Molly. Cocaine Bear is the stupidest movie I've seen. My wife and I watched it, turned it off after about 45 minutes. I got to give it to Molly for making it all the way through the movie. Keep up the great work.
I don't know if she really made it through all the way through the movie.
Every movie I've watched, I have made sure to watch the whole thing.
We're going to have to start quizzing her on things to
Yeah.
make sure that she...
Only things in the second half of these movies.
Yep.
Just to make sure.
Mm-hmm.
Who was the seventh person listed in the credits, Molly?
Yeah.
Fat Joe asking if me and my wife did the Epcot challenge.
Oh, the drink around the world?
Oh, is that what that is?
Mhm.
We did not. We did the one where we went on Mission Space, the first ride, and we got there early and spent the next hour in the medical clinic.
Like, it's not funny, but it is funny that you went to Disney World after the first ride. You needed medical attention.
First ride. Because they were having trouble with Guardians of the Galaxy, which is an amazing ride. I loved it. But, yeah, when they have barf bags in the thing, and I guess your equilibrium, it just changes as you get older, but that should not be offered to the public, that ride.
See, and I love that ride as a kid.
Yeah, see, I enjoyed it as a kid.
Well,
Now,
as a kid, I probably would.
But the G-force, I mean, it's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
But if you want to know what it's like to be an astronaut,
Give me well, I don't anymore. Yeah, give me the craziest roller coaster ever. And we did all of those. But that ride was horrible. And it had puke bags right there in front of you in the console.
So when you go,
no other ride between Disney or Universal had puke bags on it.
So when you go to the medical center, they're like, "Oh yeah, heat stroke, right?" Or something like that. And you're like, "Actually."
Well, nurse practitioner, she said, "What ride?" Told her, and she goes, "Yep, horrible ride." She said, "More people come in here for that ride." But yeah, we're down for about 45 minutes. But you know what, Disney, great first aid clinic that they had there. Shout out to the nurse practitioner. Hour number 4 as we continue. 3-man fronts. More of your texts, more of your phone calls, more to get into from ACC Media Days here on Jox.
It is 1 o'clock. Welcome back in. It's the fourth hour of the program. We'll do some Pat Ponders coming up on the program. Later on this hour, we will take a listen into Bill Belichick, his first ever ACC football media days in Charlotte, North Carolina. Dabo Swinney, we heard a little bit of him earlier this morning. Some sad news to report in the world of sports and entertainment. Hulk Hogan has passed away at the age of 71 due to cardiac arrest at his home of Clearwater, Florida. So that was something that we talked about earlier this morning. We also heard from Rodney Orr from Tyner Insider. Rob Pate also joined the program. But Landrum's back, and we haven't had an opportunity over the last couple of days because we've been covering so much going on with Media Days. We're going to do some Pat Ponders brought to you by Courtesy GMC.
I want to know what you're thinking. Tell me what's on your mind.
It's time for Pat Ponders.
Brought to you by Courtesy GMC in Trustful. Visit their online inventory at courtesybirmingham.com. All right, question number one. So at this current point in time, which conference, in your opinion, has more political power and clout in college football?
I think it's the SEC still. And I think this goes back to the stance that they took and being very, very outspoken during the pandemic when there were so many other naysayers and saying why you shouldn't do it. And they got criticized then, but and even since then, I think it's a Southeastern Conference.
Yeah, I think it's the SEC. I think the Big Ten thinks it's them, but I think it's the SEC in actuality, and I think a lot of that has to do with the leadership of Commissioner Sankey. I think he's by far not only the best leader, but the most respected out of the four commissioners. And let's be honest, if push comes to shove in college football, a lot of people are going to be looking to him for answers, not Tony Petitti. So, yeah, I think it's still the SEC.
I know I'm the Big Ten apologist of the group, but I also think it's the SEC.
Okay. I think we all agree at the end of the day, I think what the SEC wants is probably what the SEC is going to get. You're already seeing and hearing some cracks in the Big Ten Tony Petitti armor.
Yeah.
A lot of people not happy in the Big Ten with some of the things that he has proposed.
And you know that what the SEC has, the SEC, you know you have it when you don't have to say it.
I think there's a reason you didn't really hear a whole lot of jabs being thrown last week, and you've had a lot this week. Little brother.
Question number two, speaking of the CFP, I know Eli Drinkowitz, he has given us a lot of ideas. I don't think the 30-team idea was, he was being serious, but he was serious about a 6-team CFP idea that he had. It's 4 bids for the SEC and Big Ten, 3 for the ACC and Big 12, 1 for the group of 5, and 1 for the at-large, or basically it's the 4-4-3-3-1-1 model. That's what Eli Drinkowitz is endorsing. Do you like that idea of the 4-4-3-3-1-1, or is the 5-11 still the one that you're going with?
No, it's the 5-11. Because while I wasn't opposed to the SEC getting 4 automatic qualifiers and the Big Ten, now I'm just at the point, not let's have a stupid system that everybody agrees on, but the 5-11 actually does make sense, and I think that would behoove the SEC. I think certain years it would certainly behoove the Big Ten. Why not go with that model? If everybody else is saying, hey, we're on board. Big frustration I have is just not being able to come to an agreement, and we continue to push these things off. Push them down the road.
Yeah, I've liked the 5-11 ever since that one's introduced. I like the idea of, okay, you can reward one conference champion, but at the end of the day, who's the best conference that year? You can earn as many spots as you want based on your merit, and I think that's how it should be. It should be figured out on the field. Now, college football playoff committee things notwithstanding, but if we get to a point where we agree with, I guess, their criteria for how they select the teams, I think 5-11 is the best, and have some variance every year. Maybe one year you get 6 SEC teams in, the next year it's 6 Big Ten teams.
But both systems work if you trust your body of work and your conference moving forward. If you have confidence in that, which I do as an SEC fan, the 4 automatic bids, they certainly work, but I don't see the 5-11 as a threat as long as we're going by strength of schedule and what we're actually seeing and not appeasing everybody.
I don't hate that model, but I also prefer the 5-11 because, forgive me, I can't remember the coach that said it, but, I mean, college football is cyclical. And kind of like Conrad said, there could be a year where there's 6 SEC teams or 6 Big Ten teams or 4 ACC. Like, you just don't know. And I feel like with that model, we kind of – because what if there is a year where 3 ACC or Big 12 teams aren't worthy?
It was Coach O that said that, by the way.
Thank you. I couldn't remember. Okay.
Well, that's the thing. I think the 5-11 would behoove the Big Ten just as much as it would the SEC. You're going to get multiple teams in.
Mm-hmm.
So, interesting. All right, next question. This is ACC Media Days. The voting will conclude on Monday. Who's going to win the league? I think we all agree who we believe that they're going to have as the top team. It's going to be Clemson. But the Miami Hurricanes, they have been in the ACC for 21 years. And they have yet to win the ACC title. Is this the year they get it done with Carson Beck?
No. If you could not get it done with Cam Ward, I just find it hard to believe that you're going to be able to get it done with a better Clemson, with Florida State's not going to be down like they have been. No.
I'm going to say no.
Just a no, and there's a lot of different reasons, but namely, I don't believe that Carson Beck is that quarterback that can overcome some of your shortcomings that you're going to have this season to win you a championship. Think about all the other great players that have been there, and they haven't won one. But Cam Ward, that's as far as you got to look back.
Yeah.
Well, and that's my comparison is I think Carson Beck will have a good year, but I don't think he's going to put up Cam Ward-type numbers. And maybe he doesn't have to, right? Maybe the rest of the team gets better. But, I look at it more as, defensively, you have to be significantly better than you were last year. I don't really have a ton of concerns offensively speaking. But, yeah, no, I think the defense limits you, and I'm not going to be surprised if they find themselves in the title game. But I think Clemson, I think Clemson's one of the 5 or so teams that can win a national championship this year. So.
And Molly, you said no.
I said no, too.
Okay. All right, next question. Which of these SEC coaches have attended their final SEC Media Days? Sam Pittman or Mark Stoops?
I'm going to go Stoops. Either he walks away from that very lucrative contract and says, I quit, or he finds another gig that he likes and the parties come to terms and he's out of the contract.
See, I look at Arkansas and I see potential, right? You can see where, okay, a couple things go your way. Maybe the ball bounces your way one game, and you find yourself winning 7, maybe even 8 games. You have like a really special year. I can't find more than 3 or 4 wins on Kentucky's schedule in my most optimistic day. So for me, that's why I would go Stoops, because I think Sam Pittman has a much better job of having a pretty good year, whereas I have no expectation of that for Kentucky.
I'm also going to say Stoops, and looking at Kentucky's schedule, I agree. Looks a little rough.
Okay.
He'd be lucky to be back.
So Stoops out, won't be back at SEC Media Days. Next question. If Deion Sanders no longer coached in the Big 12, who would be the face of their conference?
Would it be?
It's probably Mike Gundy.
Is it Gundy? Is it Campbell? He's new, but would it be Dillingham?
I was about to say, give him like 2 more years, and I think it'd be Dillingham. But I think right now it'd still be Gundy.
So if Sanders announced he was done, Gundy's the face of the Big 12? That's scary.
Scott
I'm not
Frost.
saying I disagree.
Yeah, no, I know. See, and I'd love to say Kyle Whittingham, because I think Kyle Whittingham probably should be. I think he's the best coach in that conference. But, it's Utah. They kind of fly under the radar with that stuff. So, yeah, it'd be Gundy.
Joey McGuire.
Gundy's good.
I think Joey McGuire thinks he is.
Oh, no, what? Cody Campbell? The billionaire booster? Maybe it's
him.
Maybe it's him now.
The face of the Big 12.
Yeah.
That conference would have a serious problem if they lost Deion.
Yeah, it would.
Based on that. All right, I'm going to give you a couple bonus questions. since we haven't done this in a few, and Landrum's been gone. This is from BB. Assuming you have time to pleasure read, what genre of book is your number one choice?
I'm going to go historical.
I was going to say historical, like World War II.
Like historical fiction?
Historical fiction. Yeah. Like my favorite book is 11/22/63 by Stephen King, which I know I say Stephen King and I hate horror, but it's a great book.
Mine would
that
be,
show is really cool.
Mine would be
See, I've
like
never seen the show, but I love the book.
Really good.
But no fiction. It would be like film documentary on paper.
Yeah, no, I want
historical
nonfiction.
biography.
Historical biography.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. Something nonfiction. But yeah, I love like World War II history. I love that stuff. I think it's fascinating.
That question came from BB.
Thank you, BB.
BB will be there Tuesday with her banana pudding. And she's bringing me and Molly something special because we don't like banana pudding.
Mm.
How about that?
Nice.
Got her order put in. All right, here's another bonus question for you. Have you ever rode a bar cycle? If not, would you?
Oh, are those the bachelor party things that they do? No, I haven't, but I would. I totally would.
Have you, Molly?
Yeah, I did once in college because they have those in Lincoln that go all around downtown, and it was for a friend's birthday.
So educate those out there if they don't know the definition of a bar cycle.
Well, the one in Lincoln, you had to bring your own, and it would cycle or you would pedal. But, you know, most people don't actually pedal because they're busy. But it'll
What are they
take
busy
you
doing?
Consuming
Consuming what?
liquor.
You said it just like it was.
Wait, so I have a serious question. I've always wondered this, and I assume it's not the case. But if the people don't pedal, it doesn't just stop, right?
I don't think so.
Because I've always wondered.
Is it really
how
like
that
an
works.
e-bike and the pedals aren't connected
That's
at
what
all?
I was thinking.
I think, yeah.
Yeah.
I had a friend actually who.
But no, I would not do it.
I had a good friend in college.
Do
who
you have
was one of the
seatbelts on it where
drivers.
if you get like real drunk, like what happens?
No, there's no seatbelts.
Are you wearing a helmet?
No.
Are they really not?
No.
That is, wow.
I mean, the thing's going like 5 miles an hour.
It doesn't matter.
Do they stop for bathroom breaks?
Yeah, you stop at different bars all around town.
Oh, okay. So you'll
Yeah.
like stop, go and have a drink somewhere, then
Yes,
get back on
back
and go.
on
Oh,
and then
see, I thought
pedal
you were
and then-
just
But
going
you
and
can,
loop.
like-
Well, the ones I've seen is like they're serving you alcohol as you're cycling.
Well, yeah.
You can do that too.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the one you did, you would stop at a bar.
Yes.
And then go into the bar
And then get a drink and then come
and
back.
get knocked down drunk, and then you would get back on.
Exactly right.
Okay.
But you could still drink on the bike too.
You could, yes.
Okay.
That's your option. But you said you had to bring your own.
Yes, you
On
did.
the one that you
Yes.
frequented.
Oh, all the time.
That's actually probably preferable. You save money doing that.
Just got to
Probably
pay
way
for the
cheaper.
risk management insurance.
Well, of course. That sounds fun.
You do have to sign a waiver.
See, I don't.
See,
I
it
don't,
sounds horrible to me.
yeah, that and I'm like Landrum. That's a no go for me.
Now, would I want to do it today? No.
There's
but
so-
in like 3 months, yeah, sure.
And
We
there
should've-
might have been
hey,
one point in my life where
We
I
should
would
have found one in
it.
downtown Atlanta for Conrad last week.
Yeah, just send me on it by myself. It'd be so depressing.
No, we could have put you like on a tandem with one of those dudes down in Centennial Park.
Those conversations. So is this your first time?
Cowboy Carter, am I right?
All right, so Molly's the
I
only
love
one
your
of the
cow
group
print.
that has done a bar cycle.
That was for a friend's birthday.
They have those in Birmingham.
They do.
I think
when,
they do.
When I think of a bar cycle, I think back to in times that I have seen bar cycles. And for some reason, I only remember like a group of Mollies being on the bar cycle.
Yes. Yeah, me too.
You know what they called it?
It's like
in
a
Lincoln?
bachelorette party.
Yeah.
And they're all on a bar cycle.
You know what the company was called? Group therapy.
It's pretty good.
It is good.
It's real good.
So if you wanted to book one in Birmingham, it's $350 for up to 12 people.
Does alcohol come included?
I don't think so.
Do you have to bring your own, like Molly did?
It looks that way. You also have to be 21.
Yes.
How old are
Shocker.
you? 16?
Yes. I'm almost 17. In 2 months.
Hey, that's not bad. You split that up, $30 a person, and then
But you
whatever
bring your
buy on
own alcohol.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like you're saving money. Going to a bar you're gonna spend way more than $30. buy them.
I do have a lot of questions about the business model.
Yeah, I do too. This is
not for the bring your own ones. Well, I got questions about those, but some of these, are they stocked? Is like bartender back there?
And how heavy are these things? How many people do you actually need to like get this thing moved around? You know what I'm saying? Like you're having to pedal. Like how hard am I having to pedal?
Not very.
It came back to, for me, if I was at that point in my life where I wanted to socialize like that, that sounds like work. It sounds horrible.
Yeah. So my question is this, like on this ride, is it kind of like when you go whitewater rafting and you've got the guide in the back of the boat that's kind of really directing you down the river?
Yeah,
like,
you have a driver.
So do you have, okay.
You have a sober driver. And I was saying, one of my really good friends in college, she worked as one of the drivers, and she, like, every weekend she would work because, I mean, you get people drunk enough and they tip you really well and you start talking to them and you're playing good music. Like, it's, oh, can you take us to this part? She was like, yeah, sure. She loved it.
So what cornfield did y'all ride into?
There's a couple west of the city.
West of the city?
Yeah.
Kind of like the party cornfields?
That's exactly right.
I'm like Landrum.
How often are we stopping? I keep coming back to the bathroom if I got to pee.
It's always
not
always around the bathroom.
It really is. And you don't want to ruin it for the rest of the group.
I mean, you should have seen.
But, we're stopping again. Landrum's got to go to the bathroom.
Yeah. Landrum was so excited when he saw where we were set up at SEC Media Days because we were 10 feet from the bathroom.
Yeah.
Like Landrum was like a kid on Christmas morning. He was so excited.
If you're wondering, number one. But yes, consuming a lot of drinks.
We got to see Kirby
and beverages, non-alcoholic.
I mean,
we got to see Kirby.
That was a who's who in that bathroom at that time. You had Kirby, you had Brett Noseworthy,
you had Tyler McComas.
Yeah,
some state trooper from Georgia.
I think Gary Stoken was nearby.
I think he was. Yeah, it was a who's who of the men's restroom facilities.
Only thing missing was General Clark. We would,
and he was around there.
He was
sitting on the bench across
right across from us.
Man, good times. All right,
that's stuff done.
That's today's Pat Ponders, brought to you by Courtesy GMC in Trussville. I know they're very proud of that segment over the last 10 minutes. We appreciate them and all they do for this program. Go visit them. I-459 exit 32 in Trussville.
Before we hear from Bill Belichick at ACC Media Days, we're going to get to some of your texts, a lot of them coming in, and we appreciate that. We continue the Thursday edition on a hot Thursday. Three-man front on Jox.
Oh, what a great segment. Molly cycling around drunk in Lincoln, Nebraska. Quite a mental picture for many of you.
Are you secured in your seat?
No, that was the thing. There was no seatbelt.
I don't remember there. Maybe there was. I don't remember there being a seatbelt though.
I just see risk management problems left and right.
Oh,
Like if I'm an insurance carrier, I just don't know if I'm giving you a deal.
No. I'm trying to think of, but they apparently do well in some of these cities. What do they call it? What's it called?
Group therapy.
Well,
in
that's the
Lincoln.
name of the company, but it's what, a pedal bar?
Pedal Tavern.
Pedal Tavern?
Yeah.
We fancy it up by calling it Tavern?
Much classier.
Okay. They have blenders back there. They can make.
There's not a bartender, unfortunately. But there is a seat in the back. So if you want one of your friends to kind of be the bartender,
Yeah.
they can, because there's a little, like, I guess, walkway in the middle so that you can go in between the seats and, like, give people stuff.
Yeah, I want something where I'm secure in my seat.
Yes.
And something where I don't have to work. I don't want to do it. I don't want to pretend to be pedaling. I don't even want pedals.
You just want to sit there.
I would just, if I was going to do it, hot and sweaty, legs hurt. What'd you do last night? Well, went and had some drinks with friends. Well,
on a bike.
Yeah. Well, how did the concussion happen? Well, I fell off the bike. Somebody started pedaling too fast, or we took a bad turn. We had to slam on brakes, so somebody ran a red light. That would be my biggest fear.
So where'd you go last night? Oh, the tavern downtown. Really? Where's that one located? Oh, it kind of moves around.
Yeah.
It's kind of like